Welcome, everybody, to a special version of episode 26 and 27 of the Mullins Over Music podcast. I decided to make a really long form, 3 hour, 44 minute, 25-second video for you to fall asleep to put in the background while you're doing chores, or just to have as you're casually listening, going down the road, going on a road trip, or whatever. We have episode 26 with Cole, a returning guest. He was on episode 3. Go check that one out, by the way. And he has brought along with him his bandmates James and Paul from No Spoon as we talk about the Ozai EP and food and a bunch more. Then we have episode 27 with the return of Ryan from episode 4 of the band Titan as we talk about their new record coming out, the sequel to The Human Experience, The Death Experience. We also talk about Titan Fest 2025 and a bunch of other stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy this super long video. I know I'll be listening to it, maybe, I don't know. But it's going to be a good one. I definitely enjoyed talking with them and bringing them back on. And you'll probably see him again. So, enjoy.
All right.
Welcome, everybody, to the Mullins Over Music podcast. You know who I am, maybe. If not, I'm Austin Mullins. And I'm here with the band No Spoon. You might remember the man in the top left corner on my screen from an episode we did a good while back, but he's brought with him some friendly faces. But I'll let them introduce themselves to you, especially if you're on the audio. Then you gotta connect voices to names, and it's the whole thing. Go watch the video. That's all I got to say about that.
Go ahead.
Sure, I'll go first since I was the one on before. I'm Cole Millward, the bassist for No Spoon.
I'm Paul Wood, drums.
And I am Matthew McConaughey, the lead guitarist of No Spoon.
Yes. Little unknown fact: Matthew McConaughey is in a prog band.
All right.
All right. What a great dude! I want to get him on the podcast. I know he's not like a big music guy, but I think it'd be interesting just to get him to say all right, and that'll be
Well,
it.
I'm right here. I don't know why you're talking about me in the third
Oh
person.
yeah. I'm sorry, Mr. McConaughey.
Thank you. Jeez.
So, you know how we start this podcast off. If you don't, you're about to find out. We got to go over the fun facts. You trained for this all your life. Elementary school, middle school, high school. You trained for the fun fact. You got called on, perhaps even picked on about your fun fact. Maybe they called you booger nose after you told them your fun fact about your booger collection. I don't know. But I need a fun fact from everybody.
Uh, cool. Cole, you go first.
Let's see. Fun fact.
You have all the Ormsby basses ever produced.
Yeah, but I feel like I should probably be picking something that's less related to what we're ultimately going to be talking about. I guess since I'm looking around my room right now, we'll stick with the yeah, up above my desk I have a collection of original Lego Bionicles from about 2001 to 2005
That's
or
sick.
something like that, because I was a huge Bionicle fan as a kid and had collected them over the years and had all the pieces in a tub. And then sometime over the past year, I decided I wanted to go and put back together all the originals. So I did. So maybe that shelf is worth some money. I don't know. maybe 500 or something like that.
At least
One
worth
day.
$1.
I'll give
Yeah.
you tree fitted.
350.
Tree fitted.
Use the locket
So
monster.
that's my vaguely fun fact.
I think that's a fun fact, especially considering the fan game for Bionicles just got canceled
Oh,
for the cease and desist order that they got sent.
yeah. Okay, so you've been keeping up with that then. Very
Yeah,
nice.
I wanted to play it, but I'll never be able to play it.
Yeah.
Okay, Paul, looks like you're up next.
So since we were talking about video games and I brought up Counter-Strike 2, your boy last season hit top 1,000 in North America. So put a little bit of respect on my name, you know.
Yeah,
Come catch me on Mirage, Dust 2.
that's actually pretty sick and pretty difficult.
Right? Yeah, it took a lot. Especially with the way the game is right now. Their anti-cheat is like non-existent. So once you get to that point, it's like, oh, am I about to get cheated on the entire game? Let's find out.
Dude, it's like that with Titanfall 2 right now. It's hit or miss.
Yeah.
Because I recently got back into it because I'm like, Titanfall 3 is never coming. I gotta go back to Titanfall 2, and
I like Titanfall too.
story was good, gameplay was good. Never gonna have a Titanfall 3. They went
That
with
is a shame.
Legends. Okay, Mr. McConaughey, let's hear your fun fact.
Well, I guess fun fact because you kind of you spin it as like a thing that I would have been made fun of for when I was a kid. So that's the angle I'm going with.
Okay.
I am a huge wrestling fan. So, growing up, the amount of kids coming up to me saying, it's fake, right? And then I'm like, you're stupid. um, I was really, really into it. Not so much these days because I have, too much going on, but I am a diehard wrestling fan.
I try to keep up with modern wrestling, um, but it's so hard, and they make so many dumb decisions.
Mm-hmm.
What have you guys ever been to like a live event? Like especially growing up?
I went to two live events when I was a kid. One was WWE SmackDown. It was a
Thursday night.
Yeah, it was a house show, which meant it wasn't televised, and it was in Huntington, West Virginia. And I got to see John Cena wrestle before he got the bald spot, so that was kind of neat.
He doesn't have
and
it anymore.
oh, totally. He when I was a little kid, I went to a really, really kind of low rent event at a bingo hall.
Those are the
That
best
was
ones. What do you mean?
well, it was like a Legends of Wrestling, so it had like the Rock and Roll Express and the Nasty Boys and Coco Beware and stuff like that. And I got to meet the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. And he clearly just wanted to go to his table and eat his lunch, but my father would not have that. So, yeah, I've been to a couple. I still need to go to like a legit WWE event.
Well, SmackDown was pretty legit. I think I went to
Yeah.
SmackDown when I was like maybe like 10 because I remember I went with my dad and my brother all the time. And where we sat down, at one point they were like really pissed off about the seats and they were like, "Oh, there's openings over here. Let's like move down closer to the stage." And once we got there, I realized I left a little sign that I spent an hour making before we got there, like at the original seats, and I couldn't get it back, and I was like devastated the rest of the night. I was like, "My sign, bruh." It said like, "Yeah, The Rock's awesome" or something like that. It was left in the stands forever.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Never get to see it ever.
Right. Little P-Dub was definitely really sad. I was like, "Dad, we gotta go get my sign." He was like, "Shut the hell up, dude. It's a Thursday night. We gotta go soon."
That's cool.
I know nothing about wrestling, so
I've tried to keep up, but I just can't. I'm like, I can see the appeal. I've watched a couple, matches. I've fallen asleep to more matches than I can count. Netflix is a great help with that. Pop went on, I go, oh, that's it.
Yeah.
For all of about 5 minutes when John Cena was roasting somebody, and that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to know anything, Cole, just know that it is definitely not fake. It's the realest thing that ever happened. So
the realest and the illest, as they say.
Yeah.
Still,
see what.
Just look up R-Truth compilation, and that'll be it. That's all you need. Best wrestler ever, definitely not a comedian.
Oh no. I knew when he was K Quick. What happened? What?
I said, actually, he's a pretty decent rapper too. Not gonna lie.
Oh,
and he's looked exactly the same since the early 2000s, and I'm jealous.
Well, you know what they say. They do say black don't crack, and for him, that's actually true.
He won the genetic lottery, as it were.
Oh yeah.
I keep getting fatter and fatter, and I'm not happy about it.
But the beard gets longer. That's always a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like a wizard thing,
Yeah. The longer the beard, the long. Where
was that going?
You don't want to know.
Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next question before we find out. So, of course, our next question, always on the podcast, is the funny question, because if we can't laugh, where's the fun? Now, you're going to have to dig deep for this one. What is a movie that you're embarrassed to admit that you love? And I already know mine. It's 13 going on 30. I love that.
I mean, I can't judge you too bad for that one.
Oof. I know. See, I told you got to dig deep.
So now, can it just be a funny movie, or does it have to be funny because we enjoy the movie?
That
it can be. Are you embarrassed to like it, even though it's a funny movie?
No, but it takes a lot for me to be embarrassed by anything.
That's what I was going to say. Is I think there's an element of confidence to this question, because it's like, I think with a lot of the movies, even the ones that I could look at and be like, oh, maybe the public thinks this is bad.
Yeah.
I justify my reason for liking so hard that it has to be like, no, this is legitimately a good movie and everyone else is just wrong.
That's fair.
But
looking at it like that, I think Batman versus Superman, I like that film.
I just watched that one.
So yeah, I'll take one of those. That'll work.
All right. So what about Malibu's Most Wanted? Am I being judged or am I not being judged? Because I can recite so many of those lines from that movie. I used to watch it every night in high school because it was on HBO on demand, and I would like fall asleep to that movie for like 4 months straight.
That was Jamie Kennedy's finest work.
Shrink, blinkety blink. Try to make me think. Make me want to go to my sink and vomit. Clean it up with Comet. Earth is my planet. See, I'm the shiznit. I'll buy your cars.
Okay.
Cole clearly has not seen this masterpiece. It is a 10 out of 10 drama from the 2000s.
You guys just haven't seen Zombievers yet.
Oh, I have.
Oh, then you love it. You know how great of a film it is.
Oh, I out of all of us, I probably have the most unique taste in film. In my shelf right now, I have such movies like Frankenhooker, Chud 2, Chud the Bud.
Oh, no.
I have Velocipaster. I have Microwave Massacre. It's,
What about Llamageddon?
I don't have that one, but soon.
Or Slaughterhouse.
Bongs. Hey, that's a good.
Oh yeah, I've seen all of those. Evil Bong, Ginger Dead Man, Slaughterhouse Massacre. Um, so I'm not ashamed of liking any of those at all, really. Um, yeah, I'm kind of confident in the stuff that I like.
Oh yeah. Well, Cole, let's hear yours.
Um, I generally feel the same way that I'm willing to defend
Oh yeah.
just about every movie that I'm into. But
Oh,
the
Paul Blart Mall Cop. There you
oh,
go.
that's pretty good.
That's a
That's a pretty
legitimately
good
good
one.
film, though.
I love it. It's a 10 out of 10 for me.
That one is so confusing because it's like I feel like this is a B movie, but is it? I'm just not sure. Like
B for
it's
Blart.
yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Honestly, that's a pretty good answer. I guess the only other ones that I would potentially throw would be like uh I don't know that most people will consider this a bad movie. I just think it didn't do amazing. Tron Legacy,
That's a good film.
I
I
I
like
really
that.
really liked. I just think it didn't do incredible at the box office.
That's
So maybe
because most
that's
people are stupid. That's why.
yeah. I don't know if that's one to be embarrassed about. Uh Maybe the closest one to that would be like Sky High, that Disney movie from 2005.
I remember.
That's a banger too.
Oh, nope, I have my answer. I absolutely have my answer. Spy Kids.
You know what?
Okay.
Yeah.
All the first three of them. And I know most people will be like, "Oh yeah, the first one is great. The second one's kind of weird. The third one totally falls off." All three of them.
No, third one
The
is my favorite.
the later ones where like the main cast is different and everything, I don't care about. But like the originals, such weird films, but I think it's good cinema. So yeah, I love Spy Kids.
And we got Steve Buscemi. I mean,
Yeah.
can't go wrong.
Oh,
Can't beat that.
it's truly an incredible cast because even in the first one you had Alan Cummings
Hmm.
and who was the other bad guy? Uh oh, Tony Shalhoub is in there.
Wow.
The guy whose name I can never remember, unfortunately, but he was the T-1000.
Oh, Bobby
Yeah.
Boucher.
Yeah,
Very
he's in the
good.
first one. Um, he plays like is he the president or something like that? He's some important
Yeah.
like corrupt politician or something like that. Um, so Terry Hatcher is in it.
Yeah.
Like Cheech Marin, obviously
Antonio Banderas.
and I was just about to say Zorro. Uh like yeah, like it really makes you wonder how the hell they secured that cast. Like it's just
Blackmail.
bizarre. Actually, like everything that I've heard is that like all of the adult cast members who are part of it kind of just wanted to do it for fun. Like I think they were just into it. So
And it
anyway,
drops
yeah.
the hardest line in film history.
The
With
second one does, yes.
yeah. And
But I
then
agree.
dinosaurs, they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
CGI was something. Uh
Oh yeah. It was
It,
weird, but
it did have CGI. Yeah, that is a fact.
a good bit of it. And who's that lady that plays Mandy on Georgie and Mandy? The blonde hair?
No idea.
She's on
I'm drawing a
Hannah
blank.
Montana too. I can't remember her name, but she was in those films too.
Unreal. Just crazy who all they got. And then of course let's see, Daryl Sabera, who played the kid, or one of the two kids, I guess,
Yeah.
who played Junie. He ended up growing up and marrying Megan Trainor,
Yep.
which is fascinating.
You seen the way she looks now, by the way?
A lot less bass.
Yeah.
Way more trouble.
Haha, way more treble. Yeah.
She even changed a line. She said, "I know it's pretty clear. I got some new boobs.
Okay, that's funny.
What?
That's pretty funny.
She's size 2 now, so she can't be saying that.
Oh boy.
You know, my doctor, before he quit, he said, you know what, you might want to try Ozempic. It's fresh on the market. What do you say? No.
Did he really?
Jesus.
Yeah, he wasn't a
Shit,
very good
dog.
doctor.
I think there's a reason he's not a practicing doctor anymore.
Oh, he still is. He's just not
Oh.
mine.
So he quit you. Okay, gotcha.
He quit that particular
Practice.
building, that practice. Yeah.
Gotcha. Damn.
he said he won't take my advice. I give up. He said I'm leaving.
It's not.
It's all your
Ugh.
fault, James.
Or like he listed like, yeah, you know, there's some nasty things about it, but hey, if you want to lose weight pretty quickly, and I'm like, ah,
Nasty things
You may
about it.
die in 2 weeks, but you know,
I'll
you've
just
lost
go
10 pounds.
jogging.
The problem is, to my understanding, it also causes you to lose muscle mass, like
Mhm.
a lot of muscle mass. So
It's an extreme amount too.
yeah, kind
It'll
of
be like that
frightening.
episode of South Park where they put Cartman up on the cross and they come back like 3 months later. And he's like a twig. You guys, give me that man.
It's coming back to Comedy Central now.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
thank God.
Yeah. But with some of this show is going to be on HBO for viewing. Some of it's on Paramount Plus, and some of it's gonna be on Hulu.
That's whack. Why is it on so many different platforms?
The deal they struck with HBO is through like the end of 2030. So
Oh,
they
wow.
have to keep all the stuff on there that they already put out. Then the Paramount owns, Paramount Viacom owns Comedy Central. So they're making new things for that. But they also struck a deal with, I think it was Hulu. So they have to put stuff on Hulu as well.
Because it used to be on Hulu, right?
Yeah, you used to be able to watch all the seasons
Yeah.
for certain episodes like Super Friends.
Because I had the box set up to like season 10 or 12. And like, I sold them because I was like, oh, it's on Hulu. Like, I already have Hulu. I'll just watch them on this. And they took them away. And I just got
Oof.
HBO Max to watch like The Last of Us and stuff. And I was like, oh, dope. South Park's here.
Sorry, you're gonna have to get Paramount Plus now.
I'm just going to wait 20 years from now where I can pay $2,000 for the complete box set and just call it a day.
The
Yeah.
75 season box set with the 450 movies or whatever.
You need a hand cart to get into your house.
I'm okay with that. I think I'd be okay with that.
I'll take it.
Okay, so let's move into some music questions because so far music's over here and we've been all the way over here.
We actually hate music, just so you know.
Yeah,
We're
music's
not.
dumb.
Yeah.
Man, who likes music?
Only in it for the money.
That's right.
That's why we do progressive rock and metal. It makes the most money out of every genre.
They have to listen to it for longer, so the most they make more money.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, of course, we got to talk about the EP, the Ozai EP, the one, the only, the comeback, if you will, of Ozai. Now, I do remember most of the story. In fact, I went back and watched the episode I did with Cole just so I could refresh myself. And of course, I really listened to all the music because I'm a music nerd. So let's talk about it.
Good
Let's talk
man.
about how we got to re-recording it. What are the changes? Let we got to hear it all. So start from the beginning of when this idea came to fruition, or started to come to fruition, not came to fruition.
Basically,
That was a cold question.
Yeah, well, basically, once Cole realized I can't listen to this old mix anymore, it drives me crazy.
Yeah, that's probably most of it. He's like at least once every month. Be like, I still love the old music, but uh,
Yeah, I mean, what you're describing to me is what I call Tuesday. So,
yeah.
That's fair.
um, let's see. So this actually kind of, without going all the way back to talk about the original Ozai EP. I mean, that one's easy enough. We
Yeah.
were, together as a band under the name Ozai all the way back in 2012, 2013, 2014. And we're writing this new music and everything. And that was the first stuff that we ever recorded just by ourselves. So that was my first foray into recording and mixing. I was doing it on my college laptop, which was not built for what we made it do.
It was an
Um,
HP, right?
that one was a Lenovo. It was like
Oh, that's
just
worse.
some Lenovo, notebook or whatever that was definitely mostly meant for taking notes. So that was a fascinating experience, but we learned a lot just from doing that. The product was obviously very amateurish because it was our first go. And then over the next 7 years, per the story of the creation of Opus, we were working on Opus and learning to get a whole lot better at that sort of prospect. Part of that 7 years involved some delays, slowdowns, for numerous reasons. We had some personnel issues. We also, I know at some point during that, James dealt with tendonitis
Yeah.
and could like only play for like 30 minutes a day or something, which was a very crazy time for us. Obviously,
What's wrong with you, James? No, I'm just kidding. Keep scrub.
yeah. Uh, Obviously, that was kind of a rough time. Um, but eventually, basically, because things were dragging on so long, we didn't really want to start writing new stuff yet because we just foresaw this outcome where it's like, okay, we're just writing more and more new stuff. So by the time we actually finish with Opus, now everyone has like another album to learn. And so like all of the members who weren't as active in the writing process would just be perpetually on a learning cycle and would never actually be in the process of helping us work on new stuff. And so through a Herculean act of self-restraint, we were just like, okay, I guess we're just not going to write anything new right now, but we're still bored. Like we can't really move forward with Opus yet because there's a number of things we're waiting on, and we're not letting ourselves write new stuff. So okay, well, now's as good a time as any to go back on this old music that was amateurish and turn it into something that is a lot more in line with our current capabilities. So we started working on this re-record of the Ozai EP while we were working on Opus. So it was not a, yay, we've finished Opus and everyone's loving this big concept album. Now let's go back and rework all this old material. It was something we were already working on because we were bored with the delays working on Opus. So then obviously once things sort of picked back up, we did finish Opus and had to put the like wherever we were at in re-recording the Ozai EP, we had to sort of put that on hold so we could finish Opus, release it, then deal with the sheer fallout of releasing a reasonably successful debut album.
Still
So,
one of my favorite albums of that year.
Hell yeah. Glad you're still enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's I mean it took us a lot of places and
Oh yeah.
we love it for that. But we figured as we started to work on new stuff for the next actual like new album, we were like, well, here, I mean, we already have like all the guitars and drums and bass recorded for the Ozai EP. So all we really need to do is hunker down and get vocal tracks and then mix it.
Mm-hmm.
So we took maybe a month or two and got those vocals recorded and started mixing while we continued to write stuff for the next album. So yeah, that was essentially the story of why we decided to do it. Because I know some people were kind of like, this being our second like official release as No Spoon.
Yeah.
I know some people kind of are of the opinion like, well, for your second one, why would you dive back into old material? It's
Because we want to. How about
yeah,
that?
because we want to, and we were already working on it. So when it comes to the next album, like as with Opus, we're going to approach it with the same mentality of perfectionism. Like we're not in a position right now where we're feeling rushed to get it done. I mean, yeah, sure, people are asking like, "Oh my God, when are you going to finish the next one?" It's like, we'll finish it when we finish it. Like, it's more important for us to put out something that we can be proud of than for it to be super fast. And therefore, a huge benefit of putting out the Ozai EP Redux this year is to give people a little extra to chew on while we continue to work on that next record.
People do like chewing on things.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Okay. So I guess my next question would be, how was it different? Like, what were the big changes or small changes from the original EP to this current EP Redux? As far as, not really as far as production, because the production is obviously a lot better. But more of are there specific parts that were changed? Did you feel like you were playing things faster, or slower, more groove? What were some of the musical differences you think between the original and the Redux?
I think the biggest thing we really went over, like as a band, was the harsh vocals. And like if we wanted to keep all of the harsh vocals from the original recording, or if we wanted to go back through and kind of decide like where are they needed, where are they not needed, and then go from there.
And we basically decided that for the original four songs that were on the original EP, all the harsh vocals still felt right. Like we played around with maybe, taking out the harshes and putting cleans there instead, but nothing ever felt right. Probably the biggest change happened to Out with the Bang, where we did actually take out the harsh vocals that were in that song before. Um, there's a couple of little musical changes that are like they're very very subtle. They're kind of born out of like things that we would do live just on a whim. So like parts naturally sort of evolved over time as we played it live. So like the way Paul grooved on the drums during some of the sections in Jormungand evolved live than how it originally was on the in the original EP. Therefore, we emulated that on this newer version. I changed a couple little guitar parts here and there. Um, I think all the vocal melodies stayed the same, right, Cole?
Pretty much, aside from
Yeah.
like the rewritten vocal part in Out with a Bang.
Yeah.
Um, the interesting thing about it is, sure there were a number of these like little subtle changes from the old version to the new version, but what's fascinating is just how much of it like stayed the same.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of is the testament to the fact that we were still proud of what we did.
Mm-hmm.
Like musically, what we created back then was something that we remained proud of all these years. Like that the biggest part of the original that is kind of like was the production. So the production was kind of the big motivator for change.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's these little subtle changes here and there that were evolutions. I think the big challenge for us was like because there was 10 years difference between like the recording of the original and this newer one. And the I think the thing in our minds a little bit was like how much better, obviously, like how much better can we like produce this and make it sound better? How much better can we perform it? Because there's a lot of times where bands will go back and redo something and it's like, okay, I can see that this new one has the polish, but it lacks the soul or the youthful energy of the original. And so it's like, can we still capture that? Can Phil, you know, now 10 years older than he was when he first recorded it, can Phil like still hit like the same high notes? Can he imbue it with the same energy as before? Can we capture that same energy, but all while performing the parts better? So it's fascinating that for me the differences were less of a musical thing and more of just like an overall like polish that extended beyond just the production.
I dig it. That's good answers. Good answers. Man, I knew you guys were going to have fantastic answers for every question I have today.
Just wait, it's not over yet.
No, it's not even close to being over. We got quite a few questions to go through. Now, of course, I got to ask, since we're talking about the Ozai EP, what's everyone's favorite song off the EP, your least favorite song off the EP, and the hardest song off the EP? If they're one and the same for one or the other, just go ahead and wrap it up into one nice little bow. Because I know what my favorite is.
What's your favorite?
The Effervescent Power.
Hey, nice.
I think Mecca was always my favorite.
I'll say I think my favorite is probably, damn, that's hard.
That's a good one.
Which of your children do you love the most?
I already have an answer for that. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll say I like, for me, I think it's a bit of a toss up between Life, the Universe, and Everything and Mecca.
Okay.
And well, and honestly, maybe even Jormungand, but I think here in this case, I'm gonna let Life, the Universe, and Everything take it.
There we go.
And I think that it's not necessarily the hardest of all the songs to play. But it was, I believe, one of the first ones that we wrote for the EP. It was one where like I know for that one I brought a lot of ideas to the table, so you know, obviously I'm going to be a little biased about it.
Yeah, of course.
I, especially with this Redux, I loved the opportunity for us to take what was kind of a bare bones sonically song before and flesh it out a lot with more sound design this time. So the intro, we gave it a real like makeover with new sounds. I know back when we first did that, we were trying to do a little bit of a dubstep thing at the beginning, and now we know more about it, so we were actually able to really lean into that in the intro. And just the big like Meshuggah-esque riffs that exist in that song are just tremendously fun to play. Like the intro, and then there's a big one sort of in the solo section that just it hits extremely hard. And I like the way that James's solo came off in that. And then because the whole song is very tense all the way throughout, the towards the end where we hit this big open like pretty section, it feels very earned. It feels like the kind of thing where it's like just a real breath of fresh air after this ripping, you know, 5 minutes before it. So I want to say that one's probably my favorite because of that. Uh, Least favorite is a hard one to go with, but it's probably going to be Effervescent Power simply because it's that one's like the simplest of all the songs on the record. It's the most straightforward, certainly, and like I think anytime that first note just like kicks straight in, it's very high energy and that's a lot of fun. And it's far from hatred for the song. I do love the song. I think it's obviously just that the other songs on the album offer a little more to keep me engaged, I guess.
Yeah.
Hardest, that's either going to be Out with a Bang or Mecca for me. And it's not that Mecca is hard throughout, it's that the instrumental section in the middle has some almost like black metal-y shreddy stuff that I have to play with a pick that is not technique that I'm super used to. So that's a hard one to make sure that I get it right every time. Out with a Bang, I think, is hard all throughout because it's just very riffy. So I guess Out with a Bang probably takes that cake.
Okay.
I would say Out with a Bang is my favorite and also the hardest for me to play. That one I'm kind of biased towards because that's my baby. Like I had the most input with that song, and I don't know. It's like there's something about that song that makes me feel I guess warm inside anytime I hear it, and I'm just yes, Paul. It makes me feel horny.
Jesus.
It's it has a really nice flow and it progresses really well throughout without getting too lost in the woods. Um, and kind of like with what Cole said, it's the hardest one because there's probably more notes per second in that one than there are in the other songs. Just like way notier, way more complex in terms of like the chord voicings. And yeah, I love that song. My least favorite is probably Effervescent Power for the same reasons Cole listed. It's just
It's a very
simpler.
Song.
It's very straightforward. But it's still a fun song.
Oh yeah.
It's funny. I'm gonna be like the one who stands out. Like Mecha is definitely my favorite. It's just super fun to play. And for what's kind of ironic too, the things that are like hard for you guys, like when it comes to Out with a Bang. Some of the new stuff that we put with Out with a Bang, like during like the solo section, is really cool and interesting. So that's helped it for me. That's still probably my least favorite.
You
Sorry,
son
James.
of a bitch.
Don't hate me, my friend. I apologize.
You're fired.
But speaking of like challenging stuff, Jormungand, like when we first started writing Jormungand, some of the groove sections and the solo section were like extremely difficult for me back in the day, like to the point that I had to like change up how I was playing it. So that's probably still going to be some of the harder ones. But like when it comes to Out with the Bang, it's really not too bad. And Mecha and Effervescent are pretty straightforward for the most part. They're just fun to play. But it's definitely for like my favorite. It's a toss up between Life and Mecha. But I'm gonna have to give it to Mecha.
Okay. Good answers. I enjoy the multifaceted answers for these questions. Now we got to move on to my favorite question because I'm moving it up a bit because I just love gear so much. So it's Gear Talk, Great Talk time.
Sweet.
Okay.
I know Cole already kind of knows about it. You go into as much or as little detail about your gear as possible. You just have fun with it. Usually we get really deep into it. I think, and this is a testament to Cole's uh, literary vocabulary. Um, he definitely makes owning an Ormsby very attractive. So,
Well, I think James would agree with that.
So,
I hate those guitars, man.
Fired.
So whoever wants to go first for the gear talk, let's hear it.
I'll go first because I probably have the most to mention, but the least to say about all of it. So let's start with the amps that I use. I mostly use the Fractal FM9.
Good choice.
Before that, I used the Fractal AX8, and then before that, I just used the Fractal, XFX2, Mark II, stuff like that. And I've been using Fractal products since, I believe, 2014, so over 10 years now. And I mean, once I got like my first unit, I knew that I was never, ever, ever going back to real amps on stage. Because my back hurts enough as it is. I don't need to be carrying, 100-pound cabs and all those cables and the blah 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 blah.
Man.
I know. Well, you only play with two drum pieces.
Oh yeah, you're right. Kick and snare, you're right.
So
Occasional.
I love the unit because it's so versatile. And it responds really well to my playing. And if you were to A/B like a real Marshall to a Marshall that we program in the unit, you're not going to be able to tell the difference.
No.
Not at all. So that's what I use mostly. I also use an amp that I just forgot the name of. Whoops.
That's my favorite amp too.
It's a little amp. It's a tube amp. It's a something blah 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 Blues King. I guess I'm not going to get that sponsorship now. That one stays at the studio in case I want to use that for recording. As far as amps go, that's it. The guitars is where this will take the longest. I have like at least 10,000 guitars. I mostly use Ormsby guitars. For those of you who don't know, like Cole, I am an Ormsby artist. So I use the Ormsby hype guitars and the Goliaths. I'm working on getting a custom one as well. More details on that soon.
Ooh.
But those are my go-to guitars. They just play like butter. They're very versatile. They're extremely light. Oh my god. Oh, so comfortable to play. And it works for anything. In my guitar collection, I have the following. I have Kiesel Zeus. I have a Kiesel Delos. I have an Epiphone Sheraton 2. I have a Fender American Strat. I have a Furch acoustic guitar, a Taylor acoustic guitar, a Taylor 12-string, a vintage Les Paul. I have a Steinberger headless guitar. And several others. I have a Jackson. I have a Yamaha Semi-Hagar signature. I have all these different guitars because, unlike Cole, I like playing instruments that feel and sound different from one another from time to time.
Cute.
But as far as like the gear talk, I don't really have that much to say because generally speaking, I don't care. I just when I buy something, I buy based on, how it looks, how it feels, how it plays, and how it sounds. Very rarely have I ever actually had Cole replace the pickups in a guitar or alter it in any way. Um, that's probably one facet of my approach that's old school is, I'll make any guitar sound good just by how I play it. Um, seriously. So I get paid the big bucks.
That's right.
Um, and yeah, I also play through an Xbox Series S and a PS5 from time to time, depending on how much time I have throughout the evening.
Oh yeah.
Um, standard models, I don't upgrade them. And yeah,
Certainly
I'll
not
show
the
it now.
PS5 Pro.
Well, they say it sounds way better, but it really doesn't. You
Oh
can't
no.
tell. No.
The difference in sound quality, the pickups aren't that different,
No,
Just
it's all the same.
in fact, I think it's missing a pickup switch. You got to buy that separate.
I know, and I just don't want to spend the money. I'll just use
Oh,
what I got.
yeah.
Follow that, Paul.
No. No, so I've got two main drum sets. I've got a set of Tama Star Classic Walnut Birch. It's a 7-piece. Well, I guess technically 6-piece, I guess. So 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 22 by 16 kick. And then I have the Starphonic copper snare that I match with that kit. I have another set of Star Classics. It's the Mirage kit. So it's that 50th anniversary acrylic kit.
Ooh.
It's the first time I've ever owned an acrylic kit, and I had to buy an 8-inch tom because they only made this kit with a 10, 12, 14, 16, and then the kick. I bought the matching snare, but there wasn't an 8-inch, and you can't have Tama make you an 8-inch unless you're Mike Portnoy. Then they probably would have made him one.
Oh yeah.
But they made a Silver Star Mirage kit like 10 years ago, and they made an 8-inch tom for that series. And so I found somebody online who was selling one. The only thing about it is the Mirage kit has black nickel hardware, and the Silver Star Mirage has chrome hardware. So when I look at it, it drives me crazy. I can go and get black nickel hardware, but it's going to cost me more than I paid for the tom to get the lugs, tension rods, and hoops. And so right now it's just going to be like a chrome eyesore that every time I set up my kit, I'm like, this would look really good if that 8-inch tom had black nickel hardware.
We'll get some black spray paint. Problem solved.
Yeah, and then it'll look worse with chrome if I try to do that. I'll find a way. All of a sudden, I'm like, well, my 8-inch acrylic tom now is just black. It's not really acrylic anymore. You can't see through it.
It's black.
One of the things, though, like I'm kind of in the camp that like no matter like what company, like I could go and get a Pearl drum set, a DW drum set, like they're all going to sound great. I've always just liked Tama drums. A lot of the artists that I like or the drummers that I like are Tama artists. But one thing that I do love about their hardware that the Star Classic Walnut Birch kit has, unfortunately the Mirage kit doesn't have it, is it has locking like memory locks for the toms and the floor tom legs. And so what's awesome is like I can mark my floor toms, the legs themselves. I slap open this little like notch, and then the leg comes out. And then when I get to a show, I have them all labeled so I know where they go. And then everything's at the right size or the right height and angles again. So they have really nice hardware. I just switched like maybe a year ago from the DW9000 pedals to the Speed Cobra pedals. I've got the Speed Cobra 910s. I threw the trick drive shaft on those. It'll help eliminate some of the lag on the slave pedal.
Yeah.
And then I upgraded the beaters to the low boy beaters. Basically everything you see on Instagram where all the drummers are like, oh, have you tried all this product? It's fucking awesome. I'm like, okay, let me go spend money on that. Got the 910 hi-hat stand as well. For cymbals, my dad was a huge like Zildjian's the best cymbal company ever made. Nobody else can tell me otherwise kind of guy. And so when I was upgrading my cymbals like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I was trying to decide like, do I want to go Zildjian? Do I want to go Meinl? Do I want to go Sabian? And like for my dad, I was like, you know what? I'll just go get Zildjians. Like I know they make great cymbals. So I've got a set of the K-Sweet line. So I've got the 14-inch K-Sweet hats, the 21-inch K-Sweet ride, a 16 and 18 K-Sweet crash. I don't use the 16-inch crash anymore, and I've actually taken that away, and I'm using a 18-inch A custom. I have an 18-inch K dark crash, and then I also have an 18-inch K dry crash I really like as like the primary like riding on the crash, like as opposed to like hats or ride. It gets in and it gets out of the mix really fast, so it's not like too washy. There's not a whole bunch of sustain, so I love having that one, which is kind of weird
Hey,
for
Paul,
metal. What's up?
what do you tune your cymbals to?
A flat
Okay, cool.
to the
Making
third
sure.
power divided by pi.
That's what I thought. I'm sorry to interrupt you. You keep
Yeah,
going.
no, you're good.
It's important. It's important.
Right. And then I've got, let's see, I play an 18-inch Oriental Trash China. I also have an 18-inch dry China. Sometimes I'll do 2 channels on either side.
Double China-ing it.
Yeah, but to be fair, with a lot of the shows we play and us not having a drum tech, since I'm the one who has to set everything up for the most part. Oh yeah, I don't even want to bring an amp anymore. I've got a little foot pedal. Look at me. But and then what else? I've got 3 splashes now. No, 4 actually. Wait, hold up. So I've got a little 6-inch A custom splash, a 10-inch dry splash, an 8-inch K splash, and then I have a little 12-inch China with a 10-inch transformer splash on top of it. So it's like a little splash stack. I made a stack for like my big stack. It's a 16-inch. It's either a 16 or 14. I can't remember. Oriental China, and then above it, it's a 16 because that's right because of the crash fits inside of it. No, actually, no, it's a 14 and 14. Now I gotta check. I'm curious. But there's a 14-inch A custom EFX crash on top of the Chinos. That's my like primary stack. I think that's it for cymbals. And then Evans drum heads, typically G2s on the top, G1s on the bottom. Especially with the acrylics, I always stick with the clear heads. It just looks kind of weird if you put a coated head on an acrylic drum. Right. Like, I can't even see through it no more, man. But I do like the G2s, like the coated G2s on the walnut birch kit. It makes it a bit more warm. Other than that, ProMark sticks. It's the Shirakashi Oak 5B. They're expensive, but they last a little bit longer. And just kind of a hodgepodge of hardware. So I use like some Thomas stands, some Gibraltar stands.
Okay.
And I think that's it as far as like main stuff that I play. I do have my dad's old set of Slingerland drums. It's like a set of 67 Slingerlands. And one day when I'm not a broke musician, I'm going to go and have all the hardware redone and get it rewrapped and then get some like old school hardware to set it up and like, you know, like vintage sounding cymbals and stuff and just have that for like a cool classic rock kit. Cause it's got like I think it's a 24 by 14 kick or something like that. Like it's weird sizes.
Pretty big.
That's what she said. Very nice.
Very nice.
But actually, when I like met these guys like years ago, I was playing a John Bonham replica set. It was a Ludwig set, and it had a 22 by 16-inch kick. Or no, 26 by 16-inch kick. It was like a cannon. It was huge. Like I couldn't even set my toms up over it because they didn't fit. Or else my tom would be like way up here. I'm like, you know.
Hey, sometimes you gotta make it work. You see the new Mike Portnoy kit for the Dream Theater shows. He's got toms up there.
Yeah,
sitting on a
but still, like he can set them up though to where it's like ergonomically, like it feels good. Like this damn bass drum was so big. If you wanted 2 toms over your bass drum, it wasn't gonna feel good. Like it was impossible. You'd have to keep them like flat and like come over the top of the shell. It'd just be weird.
Hey, you know what? That's okay with me.
Right.
Speaking of cymbals, I bought this a couple months back. I found on the Facebook Marketplace Joey Jordison signature Meinl cymbals with
Okay.
Oh,
with this random drum kit and a Ludwig master snare. $25.
No shit.
nice.
What types of cymbals did he play?
That I
Was
don't.
it Pisces?
They're in my attic at the moment.
I think he played Gibson.
Yeah, you're right. It was
Cymbals.
Yamaha cymbals. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
Oh, sorry, I was wrong.
Yamaha
Again.
cymbals. And
Sorry,
Ormsby
Cole.
pedals. He played Ormsby pedals.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cole is wanting to rip my beard off through the camera.
Well,
Go
now-
ahead, Cole.
Yeah,
Comes your favorite part. Talk about your shit.
Oh, I'm sure last time I went into it, but I'll
We're also
I'll
running out of time, so just
Yeah.
be really, really quick about it.
I will quickly go over it. I, like James, play Ormsby guitars, specifically their basses. I do have a couple of their guitars. It's their bass GTR model. Only 6 strings, because that's just what I want to play. So yeah, I got 5 of them in 2 different finishes. They are fairly heavily modified. I've like added a center pickup and some extra stuff to them. I've moved the electronics around. But they are, yeah, they're awesome. I kind of don't want to play anything else. I wish they made more of them, therefore, because I love them so much. I, like James, also use the Fractal Audio FM9 as my rig. And they continue to add features like the firmware updates to add new effects and sound stuff, and they do bug fixes. Even if they decided tomorrow to never release any more updates for it, it would still be the perfect rig. It's like, for me, the whole way that I like mix bass tone, like I don't just throw on a bass amp sim and call it a day. Like I have, it's a whole chain of plugins, each doing something very specific to achieve that sound. And the FM9 as a piece of gear is like, it's able to do what I do in a DAW, just in a pedal form. And so it sounds incredible. Like I haven't had to seriously mess with my tone for like months, maybe a year or something like that. And to me, that's a good sign. That's like, it's doing everything I need it to. So yeah, I mean, that's the gist of my gear, essentially.
And I'll be honest, every time I see a video pop up on my feed of your Ormsby's, I'm like, that's a nice bass right there.
They're fun. I think it's always a good sign when you can pick up your instrument and just like hit one note and just be like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for,
That's the stuff.
That's the ticket.
So I guess as far as other live stuff, we do run in-ears, in-ear monitors. We also have to run backing tracks for the many other sounds on our record that can't be replicated with guitar, bass, drums, and vocals live. So any orchestral stuff, any other synths, because we don't have a keyboardist.
You can't.
All that has to be. Yeah, no, can't quite do that. That all is handled by a laptop and a whole like in-ear monitoring rig that we use live. It also, because James and I are using the FM9s, those same backing track sessions also handle automated patch changes.
Oh, that's sick.
Which is very awesome because a lot of the music that we're playing requires a lot of our brains and our hands, and it's nice to free up that little bit of extra brain power so that we don't have to think about what our feet are doing as well. Though like we are using the floorboard units is what the FM9 is, not the rack mount like Axe FX units. So we are still able to like foot switch our way through the songs if we have to.
Mm-hmm.
Which it has occurred where I've had to do that when we played
Rub.
Prague Power. Yeah, when we played Prague Power last year in Atlanta, for whatever reason, for the first, I was gonna say for about 75% of the show, my MIDI patch changes weren't working. And so I had to step my way through them.
Yeah.
Not my preference. It's a lot more fun to play when I don't have to think about changing the sounds myself. But you know, I guess I'm glad that if one of our rigs was going to choose to act up, it was mine and not James's. Because at least with bass, like most of the sounds that I'm changing back and forth between are like different levels of gain,
Yeah.
but different levels of overdrive, from clean to clanky to outright distorted. So for the most part, it's like, okay, I can get through that. Some of the sounds we have programmed for James are rather intense, depending on the song. So it's a good thing his was working for that. But yeah, that's kind of part of the live rig. Though when we practice our songs, we do make sure to every once in a while run it once or twice without the backing tracks and the click track in our ears, just to make sure that like we know that we can, but it's just further
Mm-hmm.
assurance, because like we don't want it to be the situation where like if the computer does mess up, we just like can't continue. Like we got to know the music, we got to
Yep.
know it. So
Sorry,
um
Radke.
yeah, I know like some people who are really not a fan of bands that use backing tracks and stuff, like they want the whole thing to be live, and I totally get that. But I think the way that we approach it is that like we're kind of focused on making the album that we want to hear first and foremost. And if
Mm-hmm.
that uses orchestral sounds and a choir, then we're going to use orchestral sounds and a choir.
We
But
don't want
it's
to be
not,
limited.
yeah, it's not realistic to expect us to go on tour with an orchestra and a choir.
What?
So, so we have to use backing tracks.
I mean, Dream Theater's done it before, bro. Just throwing that out there.
Right.
Well,
I mean, I suppose someone could make the case that like, oh, just get a keyboardist, but like that introduces a lot of difficulties to a dynamic that we're already like happy and comfortable with. So
So we just say no.
And I think if you're going to use backing tracks in this kind of context, like I want to emphasize, especially as the online discourse about backing tracks is actually like kind of blown up over the past couple of months for a few different reasons. But I think it's important, at least with what we're doing, that like the backing tracks are handling the stuff that is like sonically not possible for us to do any other way, but that is an important part of the music.
Mm-hmm.
We like anything that is a bass part or a main guitar part or a lead vocal part or even honestly like a backing vocal part. Yeah, there's some like really far drawn back like backing vocals that have to be left in the backing track, but like anything that we can do like vocal harmony wise or like anything else that we can actually play, we do. Like there is no miming going on when we play live. As honestly, if that's how we were like choosing to go about it, why would we bother having the FM9s on stage?
Oh yeah.
Like those things are expensive, you can spend $1,500-$1,600 on one of those. Why would we even have that with us?
You know what,
If
though?
we were
That
just going
gives
to
me a really
mime.
good idea. What we should do next, after we finish this album, is we should do an EP, and it'd be 4 or 5 songs that are the craziest songs that anybody has ever heard that are physically impossible to play. And we tour on that EP alone, and it's all backing tracks, and we sit up there and we play nothing the entire time, and we air drum and air guitar the wrong parts.
I mean, what's
yeah.
more progressive than that?
This is true.
I'm just saying.
They bring out the kazoos. You got to do all the kazoo parts.
I just ordered 20 vibra slaps that are tuned to different notes that we're going to utilize on the next tour called the Vibra Slap Tour 2026.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good.
Driver snapping.
Paul didn't know about this, but he's all for
I have blackmail. Now,
Uh, I guess I'll add this on James's behalf with regards to gear. When it comes to recordings, like all guitars and bass are recorded DI.
yep.
Currently, the way that we're doing things and the way that we are likely to do things with the next album and the one after that, I don't know, unless something happens that changes our minds altogether. It's all DIs and amp sims because that gives us the most freedom to, mess with sounds and not just mess with sounds. We've gotten like the sound that we like out of the amp sims that we use. So like, you know, it works.
Yeah.
It just works great. Like I think it's very cool to be in a position to say, yeah, I think like we've achieved what No Spoon guitar tone sounds like and is likely to sound like for the foreseeable future. So, you know. So anyway, that's gear.
Oh. Hey, you know me. I love my gear. I always talk about it every time. And always find more gear I need to buy. So it just grows ever longer. I think I'm up to like several $100,000 worth of gear I want now.
Well, that's the best part about Sweetwater, man. Interest free for like 3 years. You know, you figure it out later. Buy it now.
Elva write off.
Hey, you don't have to pay it if they can't find you.
True.
Exactly. That is 100% true.
And that Blues King amp, that's a Supro.
Yep, that's it.
I looked it up. I was like, I think I know what he's talking about. I had to find it. It's a
Yeah, you see, like I just went to a store, played it for 20 minutes, went, "Bleh, I want it." I don't even know the specs.
It's an amp.
It does amp
What's it?
things.
Yeah.
If it like vibes with me, that's really all I care about. It could be a Supro Ultra Tube Deluxe, or it could be a crate square transistor fuzz thing. And if I like it, I'm getting it.
If it sounds good, it shall come home.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. Well, of course, we got to ask two very important questions. New music. We got to ask about new music.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to ask about upcoming shows starting in June, because not trying to date the podcast, but it's coming out in June and it's May. It's the end of May. So we gotta act like it's in.
It's totally June right now, guys.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. With regards to new music,
It's coming.
it's coming.
Moving on.
We're working on full-length album number 2. We are 4-ish, maybe 5, like full song structures deep. So in our case, that kind of means like having the general idea of your drum parts, bass parts, guitar parts put together, chord progressions, like all the way through to the end of the song, but not necessarily lyrics or vocal parts written yet. And certainly they will be fleshed out a lot more as time goes on.
We got 2 weeks and then we'll have the album ready.
Yeah, for no, unfortunately,
from, June 2026.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Unfortunately, the past month or so has been a little slow for us writing wise because I took a vacation for one. I know.
And then
only
you
get to take
sick.
one like every 2 years or whatever, and then I came back sick. Exactly, and that is that's stuck with me for like the past 2 weeks. So it's been kind of rough trying to get anything done. But as soon as I'm better, we'll be back on it. The new music is sounding really incredible. I think for anyone who listened to the Ozai EP and was like, "Oh no, I preferred Opus," you'll be happy to know that generally speaking, like the new music leans more Opus, which makes more sense because Opus was written more recently than
Yeah.
the Ozai EP. So it's all of that fun proggy stuff. Um, Lots of just like very tasty riffs. And the kind of thing where we can go through and listen to like the demos that we've recorded in our writing sessions and just already be getting a lot of that really fulfilling feeling just from listening to the demos. So yeah, the new music is definitely happening. Um, as far as live shows, James, you want to talk about that or should I?
We're never playing live ever again.
Just ever again.
Ever again. By that I mean we have a show lined up in July. I think it's July 19th. I could be wrong.
Next month.
It is.
Next month.
Yeah. So that's actually an interesting one because I messed up my thing. Where's everybody? Hello? Yay. So for those of you who don't know, I play in 10,000 bands, and one of them is a Genesis tribute band.
Yep.
And the drummer of that band wanted to put a prog showcase together locally with almost the express purpose to sort of introduce our band to Abacab's crowd, but also to give us a chance to play in front of a crowd that really wants to hear progressive music, right? So for that show, it will be Abacab opening the show, and then No Spoon will be headlining. And we're working out maybe putting together a cover song to throw in at the end where we're all kind of jamming to maybe a Dream Theater song, maybe something else. We'll figure that out here in a little bit. But that one's going to be really, really fun. I think. I'm going to be really tired. I'm going to be playing for 2.5 hours, but that's okay.
Hey, it's like Am I Evil? Am I Evil with the big four thrash, making it sound. That's always been one of my favorite performances for like music. Not even that the song is all that great, because Am I Evil is kind of boring. But
yeah.
Just the with the
it's the people playing
drummers
it cool.
And the 6 guitar players and
Am I Evil is a song that suffers from the absolute wrong drum beat.
Yes.
Like that drum beat should not go there, and he chooses to play that for the entire song.
Yep.
And
then you have bars.
And then yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. Cole, am I missing another one that's local? I feel like I am. It was we're playing. We're playing Prague Day. I forget when though. We're terrible at this. Cole, check the Facebook now.
Has it been announced or?
I guess not. It will be by then.
There's a festival like Prague Day. I think it's in is it Chapel Hill or something like that?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, North Carolina and Chapel Hill. So we'll be doing that. I don't remember when that is. Exactly.
New one has not been announced, but they have a website for last year's. So
I really hope by the time this comes out they've announced it. Like hopefully we're not going to get in trouble from announcing it here first.
It'll be fine. Figure that part out.
You
It'll be
heard
fine.
nothing.
I'll take the fall for it.
What has been announced is that and this was announced last year, I think. We're playing Prague Power Europe in October. So that will be pretty wild getting to go over there.
Really sick.
And we just have to decide what it is we're going to play for people. Because sure, we've just put out an EP, but also at the same time, the people over in Europe haven't gotten to see Opus played entirely yet. So
They haven't seen anything.
they haven't seen anything from us.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
What's up?
Yeah, we're looking forward to that.
Hey, it's a big step for you guys, and I'm proud to call you guys my friends and excited to
likewise.
see what continues going on.
Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah, that's
We're really
all we've got on the
busy with
books.
shows, man. That's
I know.
why it takes us so long to write music. We're just playing out all the time.
Everyone is asking us, like, can you tour and play here and here? And we're like, yes, we really want to. Rent's kind of expensive right now. It's just we'll work it out eventually.
If you want to pay our rent for a couple months, we'll do we'll go wherever.
See, I think that's reasonable. Every ticket will just cost our rent, and that way you'll pay our rent for the next 30 years in one tour, and we're fine.
We're good at that point. We can do whatever.
Yeah, we can charge sleep token prices. It'll be great.
Oh. Dude, sleep token prices are ridiculous.
They're Beyonce prices.
And I don't even think Beyonce charges Beyonce prices anymore.
Well, I've been to every single Beyonce show, so if anybody knows their ticket prices, it's me.
Put a ring on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
To the left.
Yeah. But no, we do plan on hitting, more places in the States, at some point for sure. It will happen.
Yeah, hitting them real hard.
Yeah, we're gonna punch them right in the face.
Mosh pit for days. Well, surprisingly, "Dance with Me" is the best song to throw a mosh pit to. Mm-hmm. Circle pits all day.
Yep, moshing in 6'4". What's up?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there are people that mosh to weirder times.
That's right.
Lateralis for that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And every song by the Dillinger Escape Plan ever.
I'm excited to see them this year. I'm going to Louder Than Life. That's sick.
I'm thinking about it.
Pull the trigger, man. Come with me.
All right. Let's see what happens.
Well, of course, we got to finish this off with 2 more questions. First question is, what music are you guys listening to right now that you're just like on repeat?
Hold on.
Gloria Estefan, man. Turn the beat around.
I am notoriously terrible because anytime I go live on the No Spoon account, I get asked that question and I can't remember for the life of me. So right now, I have begun to dug into Purple by Baroness.
Okay.
I'm really starting to dig into their sound. I'm a big Thin Lizzy fan, and they kind of scratch that itch.
Yeah.
I started listening to the new album by the Callous Cowboys.
How is that?
It's pretty good so far. I've never heard any of their music ever, so I just decided to start here. I mean, I love the Dillinger Escape Plan, and to me, it kind of scratches that itch. What else have I been listening to on repeat? I've listened to Parasomnia by Dream Theater quite a bit.
I've not listened to that yet. Still have not.
I honestly, hold on, fat. There we go. I really dig it. I feel like I say I really dig it. I can't remember the song names. Hold on. I really like Bend the Clock. Um, and I really like the Shadow Man incident. To me, like that's like their best epic or my favorite epic of theirs. Since geez, probably um the
Metropolis.
Ministry of Lost Souls.
Yeah,
Mhm. My favorite epic of theirs is Octavarium, but
that's good.
yeah. So other than that, I'm just scrolling, taking a quick look. Um,
For me, it's just our demos. I'm in that state where I can't listen to anything other than what we're working on.
Yeah,
Boring answer, but that's where I am.
it's understandable though. I've been listening to the demos that I sent you, Cole.
That's right.
I've been listening to them on repeat, and I go. Sometimes I'll be like, "Man, this is a banger right here," and then I'll go, "Man, I hate this song. Who wrote this garbage?" Oh, it was me. Never mind.
Yep, we go through
Just
that too.
welcome.
I'm trying to think what I've been listening to. Funny enough, like when Opus dropped, there were so many people were like, "Oh, these guys sound like Haken. These guys sound like Haken." And I know James and Cole specifically, like they enjoy Haken. That was definitely an influence. But I never really checked them out, and so I've kind of been like checking out their music and their discography for a while. And then actually, another Ormsby artist, Andosan. Cole introduced me to him, and so I've been digging him. He's like, what is he called? Like prog hop. So it's like hip hop with like progressive elements, a lot of thumping stuff, like Toast and Abazi from Animals as Leaders. And then I've been diving back into like the Contortionists and Leprous.
Hmm.
Since we got to play, because Leprous was at Prague Power when we played, and that was the first time that I saw them live. And I listened to a few of their songs, but I've been getting into more of their older stuff recently.
Yeah. Well, I got to throw some fun recommendations out there for you. Easy Band. They do what is it? Hispanic mariachi. They do mariachi versions of rock songs.
Okay.
They did
Nice.
a mariachi version of Take on Me.
They have a mariachi version of Linger. I have to hear this.
It's fantastic. I found them about a month ago and I can't stop listening to them.
They have a version of Have You Ever Seen the Rain?
Yeah. They go,
Okay.
Have you ever seen the rain?
Oh, I just added that to my library.
It's beautiful. I listened to the new Igor song, Blast Beat Falafel.
Blast Beat Falafel?
Yep. It is it's a strange one for sure. And watching them play it was even stranger. And then last, I got to throw in a good band in there that is not strange. Machine Head. I listened to the new Machine Head record. It's fantastic. Oh, and then Malevolence. I've been listening to their discography.
Malevolence and Machine Head.
And then I listened to this fun band. They're called No Spoon. I don't know if you guys have heard of them.
Yeah, I listened to like a little bit of their first album. It's just a little too pretentious for my taste.
Too derivative.
No, see, like I'm looking at my recent library, and it's just all over the place. I have the Callous Dow Boys, then Harmony Corruption by Napalm Death, 13 Songs by Fugazi, Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 1 by Halloween. I have Duck by the Aristocrats. It's just
Can you quack?
Can you quack
Jesus.
like a duck? Cryptopsy. I got Death. I got Scorpions. I have Survivor, known for Eye of the Tiger.
Yes.
That's all.
Sick of that
All
now.
like all my recents right there.
I taught a kid that song. I taught a kid and a few other kids the drum part for that song. Um, for like 4 months, I had different kids. I want to learn this song. I'm like, can we choose something else? No. I'm like,
That's how it goes. I teach a lot of Taylor Swift.
oh, Taylor Swift is awful for guitar. I want to learn Taylor Swift. What about no Taylor Swift? Oh, okay.
Well, you got these 3 chords.
Which, funny enough, makes it easy to play Taylor Swift.
Yeah, it does have its uses for
The
sure.
challenging thing for teaching Taylor Swift is that, like, you know, you can kind of have the students get by on like cowboy chords for a good while, and then they're right at the end of the song. She does a key change. It's like, great. Okay, so now we actually do in fact have to dig into bar chords, and I'm so sorry. You know,
I have this one kid. He loves Taylor Swift, so I'm always printing off new chord charts and new sheet music for him. He can't get enough of it. He loves Taylor Swift. I think he's trying to build a binder of every single song in their original key.
man,
he's
pretty sick at it though. He is a Swiftie, but he's pretty good at it. So I don't mind listening to it. Plus, I don't have to hear her sing when he's playing. I just have to listen to him play it, which does help a bit. Then I can think it's another song, and I get by.
Well, hey, you know what? I spend most of my days teaching students music that they like that I hate, and
Yeah,
I'm just happy that they're playing music that they like. I loathe those new students where I ask them, so who's your favorite artist you like to listen to? And they're like, I don't listen to music. I'm like, oh, you want to learn this?
always
Then
my least
okay.
favorite. Dude, it's like, what kind of music do you like to listen to? I don't really listen to music. Okay, what made you decide to play this instrument? Oh,
arbitrary decision by their parents to gift them a guitar for Christmas.
Exactly. I got a guitar or a keyboard for Christmas, or I got this set of drums that are practically the Hello Kitty drums.
I mean, Mike Portnoy shredded on a Hello Kitty drum set. It can be done.
It's true.
Can be done.
It broke, in like 5 minutes, but
Oh yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna throw
the territory.
3 more recommendations for you. Delta Hate. Sure. It's hardcore, but I think you'll appreciate it. The new Dance Gavin Dance, because who doesn't like to dance? And then the new country song by the Crabcore band Attack Attack.
The new country song?
Yep. Because I heard that's where you guys are going next. Country, right? Next album is all country.
For sure.
Well, you're actually kind of not super far off in regards to one of the songs.
I have that premonition like that.
Just you wait.
I'm excited to hear it. Well, I think that about wraps it up. Thank you guys for coming on. Oh, sure. Of course, we got to do the shout outs. And where can they find you? And the plugs.
Ah, yes.
The plugs.
Not the
Christian Mingle.
Not the Christian Mingle plugs either.
Bumble, Tinder.
That does make me wonder if we're missing out on an opportunity to be advertising ourselves on Tinder or something.
Advertise yourself on Grindr. They tend to like prog music.
True, well, see, I prefer OnlyFans.
Well, I did create this platform. It's called Prog Hog.
Go on.
I like this. Where's this going? Let's hear it.
Oh,
The problem is it's going nowhere. We're on all the usual socials, Instagram, Facebook, We are not on Twitter anymore. We are on Blue Sky.
Okay.
We're on TikTok, YouTube, all the good stuff. As of like the day that we are doing this, my base playthrough video of Life, the Universe, and Everything off of our new EP, the Ozai EP, came out today. So that's definitely one that you'll want to watch if you want to see a good example of my Ormsby basses, because I'm playing one, and then my remaining 4 I have sitting behind me in the video.
I may or may not have watched it on the way to go pick up my aunt from the Raleigh airport this morning.
Nice.
It's pretty cute.
In all likelihood, James's playthrough is going to be next, because his are the second easiest to film.
Of course.
And yeah, that Ozai EP that I just talked about, it came out a couple months ago. Please go and stream it and buy it and everything.
Buy now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
if you do listen to it and you feel like I want something a little proggier than this, our debut album Opus is also still out there. By all means, go listen.
Or as I affectionately call it, Opus.
Opus.
Yeah.
Paul has affectionately dubbed our next album Mopus.
Mopus coming out soon.
Mospoon.
Exactly. So I think that about covers it as far as the plugs.
That's what's up. Any shout outs? I got a shout out to you guys.
Hey,
for coming on and being such great participants in the podcast.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us, man.
I guess shout out to Ormsby Guitars, because that's our contractual obligation, and and also they just make really, really good guitars. What can I say?
Very pretty.
Yes, that's a thing I really like about them, is how bright their finishes are.
They are lovely.
I like colors, so that makes sense.
They have all the colors.
Apparently, I'm colorblind, though, if you ask my wife, so don't ask me what color any of them are.
If it feels good, that's all that matters.
That's right. And then, our last question. I know you know my last question. What's going to be the outro song? Pick something off the Ozai EP.
Oh. Shit.
Which one did we
I think
last time?
Oh, good. I feel like it was probably Earworm or something, or
That's
within the realm of possibility.
I think so.
I think it should be since this is the end of the interview, hit them with the end of the Ozai EP. So the outro of Jormungand, like the big strong note that Phil hits. Yeah.
We'll do that then. I think it was Earworm. It says it's right here, actually. Number 3 on the podcast.
Ooh.
Maybe it'll show me. Yeah, it was Earworm. Cool. I'm like,
nice.
Is it? Yeah, it is. Well, I think that'll do it.
All right, y'all.
Thank you guys so much for coming on. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And
likewise.
To the viewers, until next time.
See y'all later.
This is Mullins Over Music Podcast, episode 26, part 1 of the double feature, with your host, me, Austin. Thanks to Cole, James, and Paul of No Spoon. The song is Jormungand from No Spoon. Check them out on the social medias and the musics. Check out their new Ozai EP, their debut record Opus, and thanks to viewers like you. Until the next episode. Here's the rest of Jormungand, and part 2's coming up.
Hey, my son, sit close by, and I will tell you more about the world. Look, my son,
Recording in progress.
Welcome
Sorry, I'm dumb.
everybody to the Mullins Over Music podcast. I think this looks pretty similar to another episode, but in case you think you're seeing deja vu, I promise you're not. This is episode 2 with my same friend, Mr. Ryan from Titan. What's up, Ryan?
Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Last time I was wearing a beanie, I think.
Yeah, you were. This time it's a hat. So if you got to go back and check, beanie, hat, beanie, hat.
And if it was a beanie, it was probably my orange one. I don't know. I'm
It
pretty
actually
well
was.
known for it.
That I do
Oh,
remember.
it was? Oh, okay. Dude, I think I said this on the last podcast. I should have rewatched it actually, but um the what made me realize that it was kind of like well known was I was at a show, or not a show. I was at a music video shoot for Spite back in 2022. And when I was at this video shoot, there was like 100 people there. It's for the music video dedication to Flesh, but
Yeah.
like there's like a cage that the band is inside, and all of us on the outside of it. And excuse me, Jay from Reminiscence goes, Ryan Brown? And I was like, huh? And he goes, is that the Ryan Titan? And I was like, what? And he's like, holy shit, I can recognize that beanie from anywhere. And I've never met this guy in my life. And I was like, holy shit, like somebody else. And then I met him. I was like, holy shit, it's Jay from Reminiscence. I was like, what the fuck? Like, oh, I was like, oh my God, like it was such a huge moment for me because I loved his band anyways. But like in the moment, I've never met him in person. So he looked different just in person, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he wasn't, obviously. He looks the same person. He looks the same. But like when it's all in motion happening, I was like, who is this guy? And then I was like, wait, two and two to click. But then that's when I realized like, oh, my beanie has some sort of notoriety. And then as the next 2 years happen, or like year and a half, we're playing shows and I'm wearing it. And then when I stopped wearing it, people were like, or they were just like, who are you? Don't, you can't show up to someplace without it. Like, it's weird. And so I started wearing a black one and they were like, go back to the orange one. And I was like, but I like my black one. Like, it's my Spite one. And it has like a little leather front piece on it.
Yeah.
And now I could switch between both, and people are like, they fuck with both. But for a while, they were like upset, like actually upset that I wasn't wearing my orange one.
Hey, once it
Sorry,
becomes
that's such a
an
long
iconic
thing to
part of
say.
you. No, it's cool. Once it becomes an iconic part of you, man, it's gotta be there.
It's like Slash's top hat thingy.
Yeah, exactly. When he doesn't wear it, people are like, who's this? Who's this guy?
Yeah, I don't wanna accidentally pigeon-toe myself, I guess to call it, with a headpiece. But but I've had a lot of people ask me why do I wear it during summer when I play shows, and it's like honestly because my in-ears fall out of my ears so easily. And so I literally use them to hold my in-ears in. I thought about like a bandana at one point too. Then I was like, it's uh, too much like some Axl Rose stuff, and I don't want to be Axl Rose
I was
with a
gonna say it's a
bandana on
little
my
too
head or some
90s
shit.
glam. Too 90s glam for you.
Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe if I made it look good, I don't know. Maybe if I try to pull it off. I haven't thought it, or I haven't done it, but it's just to keep my in-ears in. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Also, I think I look weird without any headpiece.
Oh yeah. You could do a bandana, tie it.
I guess I could, but then I'm like, man, I need some Credence and Clearwater playing in the background and war in Vietnam kind of shit. That's how I feel. Like I feel like it's Forrest Gump or something happening.
I get it, man. Man, it's always fun to talk with you. I'm glad you came back on, man.
Thanks. Do you have a whole list of things you want to talk about?
I do have a list. I do have a list. You gotta have a list, man. I'm a,
You know
I'm
what's
a,
funny is I was in your neck of the woods 2 weeks ago. I was in Florida for like 8, 9 days.
well, shit. You should have, man. If I'd have known, I would have came down there and hung out.
Bruh, what? I posted it all over my Instagram and everything. I was like, I'm in Florida going to Rockville, and I was like, and I was
Oh,
in Daytona.
I forgot Rockville's in Florida.
Yeah, I was in Daytona, and then, well, I was first, we in Tampa, and then we were in Daytona, and then after Daytona we went to another place. We were somewhere else in Florida. I don't fucking remember. No, sorry, we were in Miami first, and then from Miami we went to Daytona, and then from Daytona we went to Tampa, and then we went home. Oh, sorry, and then we went back to Miami to fly out. I
Gotcha.
think something like that. I don't know. I was there for like 10 days, so we traveled. We like besides the festival, we did drive around a lot to go check places out and do some shit with the team and hang out and just it was fun. It was fun. It was stressful. It was long days,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, I tried to make the best of it.
And I bet you had fun in the end, right?
Yeah, no, at the end of it, like when you how do because I'm like working the event. So like I work for a
Yeah.
clothing brand called Mortis
Yep.
Vivinti, and like they are one of the vendors there. And so like we're just slinging merch all day, and I'm like so part of their whole thing is like doing tarot card readings. So like I'm talking to, and this sounds like when you say the number, you just think like, oh, that's not a lot of people. But like I'm talking to like, I don't know, 80 to 120 people a day. And like that doesn't sound like a crazy number, but
Well,
if you really think about that number, think about having 120 roughly different conversations with people.
yep.
Like
That's
or
where it gets you.
or yeah, or it's actually the same conversation over and over and it just blends together because it's like a selling tactic, which it's like, I have like 8 tarot cards in my hand and I fan them out and I have like all of them memorized. And then I'm like, depending on what you pull, that's my conversation starter with you. And then
Yeah.
now that I'm talking to you about this tarot card meaning, and then those people are now sharing a personal connection with it. Now have a whole conversation. So it starts off the same thing, and then it ends up to something new, and then it circles back to the selling point, and then slinging merch. And I'm
How about
doing that
that?
from from 11 a.m. to close. Like, dude, we were out till 1:30, 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. Two of
Jeez.
those nights out of the five or this out of the six we were there. Most of them we were gone by like 12 o'clock. The other ones we were gone at like 2. It was devastatingly long days.
You go into louder than life doing that?
Nah, I
Nope.
did that 2 years ago. I wanted
Yeah.
to go back this year, but no, that was the only one I'm gonna do this year. I was supposed to do Warp Tour, but I have Titan Fest that I'm worrying about, and I
Sure.
have a tour I'm gonna be gone for, and I'm stressing out. I'm so stressed out about all of it. Like when I say I'm stressing out about it, I'm saying like I wanna hit this shit out of the park. Like
Of
it's
course.
costing me like $10,000 to put this whole fucking thing on. And then like on top of that, I still have to fund 30 days of a tour. And then I have to think about my home bills while I'm on tour. Because then when I get home, I need to have money to pay for those reoccurring bills, rent,
Yep.
fucking my other stuff that I have. And so if I'm not working my regular job during that month, then like I end up like shooting my foot. So
Yeah.
I need to figure out in my mind how am I gonna sell enough tickets to this festival, hope all the bands sell tickets, and like hope that there's just a ton of walk-ups. Last year was wonderful. Last year we did fucking phenomenal last year.
Yep. I remember
Sorry, I just had to
hearing
like
stuff
think about
about
something for a second.
it. Good.
Dude, I had to think about something really quick in my brain, and I was like, wait a minute. Maybe I am having too much anxiety because like I think I'm giving myself anxiety right now about thinking about it. Holy fuck. I'm like, fuck, I'm free. See, that's how stressed out I am about this shit.
Of course. I mean, dude,
Okay.
it's a whole festival. It's a whole tour. That's a lot of work, man. That's a lot of planning, a lot of effort, especially on your part. It's going to be stressful. And the new record, which we are going to
Oh
talk.
yeah, and don't, oh my God, yeah, we're finishing it this month, which reminds me I have to like oh my God, dude, I have a laundry list of shit I have to because I'm playing catch up right now.
Yeah.
I've had COVID the last couple days. So when I say I've been out, I'm saying like I've been like I would put on like so the first day I was sick, I got back from work and I was like I feel like shit. So I just lay down. and I was like, I'm gonna restart Andor season 2 all over. Fucking fell asleep through all the episodes. Woke up at like 2:30 in the morning, and it was all the way over. I was like, oh my god, I have to watch it again because I missed like everything. So like, I was like, I'll just go to bed. Woke up at like 5:30 in the morning, feeling terrible, and I just put it on. And then every episode, I was like falling asleep, waking up at the end, falling asleep, waking up at the end. It took me till Sunday morning to finally watch all of Andor 2 because I felt good enough where I wasn't sleeping. But I literally slept for like 3 days. Oh, well, 2.5 days.
I mean, you and I were discussing this. What was this, yesterday or earlier today? It's like it's never going away at this point.
No, and I did not think I would get it again, honestly. And it came out of nowhere because my roommate, so it's weird. My roommate, he's been coughing for the last couple of weeks.
Mhm.
And so it got really scary on Wednesday. He like texted me because I was like with my friends, and he texted me. He's like, "Can you please?" Or called me. It's like he sounded terrible. He's like, "Can you please give me a ride to the hospital? Like I need to leave." And I was like, "Yeah, I got you." So came home, picked him up, and he looked gray, like the color gray, like dead body gray. Like he looked gray, and I was like looking at him like, "Bro, we need to leave ASAP." And he's like, "The closest one is like way over here." I was like, "No, we're gonna go somewhere else that's even fucking closer. You should not be looking like this." So mind you, the whole time I have a mask on my face because I was like, I didn't want to
Yeah,
get whatever
you
he
don't want to
had,
get whatever he has.
and go to the hospital. Yeah, and then I end up getting something else anyways. The next like 2 days later, that fucking Friday morning, I woke up feeling great. Everything was great and high on life. It was wonderful. Then like by like 12:30, 1 o'clock, I was like, uh-oh, I don't feel good. By 3 o'clock, 3:30, when I got home, fucking crashed. It all hit me, and I was just like, no, fuck. God.
Dude, my
So
wife came home
it doesn't
yesterday.
matter. Masks don't work.
Oh yeah. Dude, my wife came home yesterday or this morning. Yeah, this morning because she works night shift. She was like, I think this girl got me sick. I'm starting to feel like crap. I'm like, well, get some rest, see how you feel. So she wakes up for work and she's like, excuse me. She's like, nah, this ain't it, Chief. I'm like, jeez. And then I told her about you having COVID, and she's like, oh, if I got that, I'm gonna be so mad.
What symptoms did she have?
Um, she's got fever and coughing, and I don't know what else she has. We didn't get to talk much
Does
today
she,
because
does she, oh,
left
okay.
it to
Oh,
think
so this is
about
this
it.
morning.
Yeah, this was this morning.
Oh, fuck. So, um, I don't have the cough or the shortness of breath or anything like that that like the first version of COVID had because this is like a new strain. That's what they're calling it. But
Yeah,
I have because like I still have some subtle like feeling like that's like ugh. But like
yeah.
initially it was sore throat with a swollen tongue, and I was like,
Oh,
uh-oh. It felt like
an
have you
allergic
ever
reaction.
ate like sour candy and no, like have you ever ate a lot of sour candy and then your tongue fucking hurts?
Yes, yes.
That's how my tongue felt. It felt like I just had like a sucker of sour candy and just burnt a hole through my tongue. It hurt so bad. And then dry throat. And then after that, I was like, uh-oh, I'm getting sick. And then all of a sudden, bam, the fever, the chills, body aches, head to toe, and just sleep. Just sleep, 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 sleep.
My wife was like, I'm
But
cold. I'm like,
anyways, we
it's
can move
hot.
on.
She was like, I'm cold. I'm
Oh,
like,
oh
we got
yeah,
four
yeah, dude, it's
blankets
so hot
on.
over there.
Dude, it was 87 when I got off work at 7.
You got to be careful.
I was like,
You're
oh,
wearing a sweater.
I this is all I'm wearing.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, no, I was
It's
like, I ain't wearing a
pretty
shirt.
hot.
What's the
Oh yeah,
temperature like
fuck,
there?
dude. It's been 90 all week,
Oh,
92, 93. Well, all last week was like high 90s.
high
Um,
90s.
and then over the weekend was like yeah, and then this weekend on Saturday was 106 on Saturday. And I was like, fuck, dude, we're not even in July yet. We weren't even in June yet at the time either. We were
No,
still on the cusp of June and we hit 100. I was like, and I'm going on tour in August. Oh my God, I just remembered I have to fucking make sure the AC works in the bus.
Hey, I saw this thing on the TikTok shop. They're like mini fans. They take 9 volts, get a couple of them for like $30. You'd be good.
Yeah, but I just still I have to be so careful with finances right now. Like I have to dial in on everything I buy so that I have money for the festival. But like I said, I have to reorganize everything in my brain. Oh no, sorry, not my brain. I have I don't know if you could see that.
Yeah,
Kinda.
the board.
That's a whiteboard. Yeah, that has all of our Titan Fest, all of our everything we have to pay for, everything laid out on it. I have to go over it so that it makes sense in my brain because who's I'm like giving myself anxiety. It's a lot. It's a lot that has to go into it. So I have to reorganize it so my brain can concept, and I have to fucking still clean up my room, like I was showing you earlier. I have to put all that back. No one could see it. It's out of frame, but I literally emptied out my closet, did some work on it, and now I got to put everything back. So
Dude,
hopefully it
sometimes
takes
you gotta do
it was
that.
as fast to take it out.
Yeah, sometimes you got to do
Dude,
that with
dude, I've been going. Well, so I mean, I don't. If you're down to talk about everything, we'll talk about everything.
Yeah,
But
let's talk about
um,
everything.
so I went through a breakup last year in November, and it sucked ass really bad.
Yeah.
And so like I lost like my girlfriend, and then like she had kids, and I got really attached to her kids. So like like normally through most breakups, a lot of people kind of they feel better after a few months, but like I'm going on 8 months now,
Yeah, I was gonna say about 8.
and yeah, and I'm not over it because I miss the kids more than her,
Yeah.
just because I've never been a dad and always wanted to be a dad. So like having the experience of being a stepdad and like both of her kids were fucking cool. Like I got like they both had autism, so like it was definitely like uh I had to like learn how to be a stepdad, but also like a stepdad to kids with autism. But they were so like me. So I'm like, do I have autism? Like, fuck, man, I get along with these kids so well. Like, we got along so well together. And like, it was great though, because like her daughter, she was 5, and man, she latched onto me like no tomorrow. And like, I don't know, like it was crazy because like her son was really scared at first. But man, as soon as he saw my tattoos, because he saw pictures of me and was kind of scared because I did like screamo and shit. So he was like, oh, like scared of it. And then
Yeah.
as soon as he met me and he saw that all my tattoos were video games, oh my God, he was like, you're the coolest fucking guy. Like you have video game stuff. And like every time I would like FaceTime her or go visit or anything, like he would try to show me all of his games and we would play Pokemon Go together, and like he would have all these music apps on his iPad that we would play together. And then like me and her daughter would basically almost do the same thing, but since she was a lot younger, she would like and she was nonverbal too. So
Yeah.
like, you know, the communication between me and her was just a lot of like pointing and like me trying to like help her talk about like what she was pointing at.
Yeah.
And so like having that connection is like I want that again so bad, but I don't want that ever. If that
Yeah.
makes sense, you know?
Yeah, no, I get
I
it.
don't want to Yeah, like I don't want to be a dad to anybody else's kids. Like I'm good. Like I had that moment, and so that's why the only reason why I'm bringing this all up is because I finally like 2 weeks ago cleaned out my room and got rid of everything she gave me. It took me like almost 8 months to fucking get rid of it, but the whole time I've kept it in my room because I just couldn't let go. I just did not want to let go of any of that. I still have the stuff her kids gave me and made me. I still have all that. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna get rid of any of that. Um, but all the stuff I got rid of. Um, but yeah, so that's why I'm like also cleaning out my
Yeah.
closet and everything. Like I'm just trying to really bare bones my life right now.
Oh yeah.
It's just
No, I get it.
yeah.
Hey, I'm proud of
But
you.
anyways, I
Well,
didn't kill myself.
hey,
Yeah.
that's the important part. You're
Yeah, I
still
know.
here and you're still
Anyways,
able to talk to me on the podcast.
dude, honestly, I think about it all the time, dude. I used to have a podcast and it was really successful. Like, dude, I put out like 40 episodes within like a month and a half. I was pumping them out so fast, and
I
I was
remember
like
you
doing
telling me
three
about
or
it.
four a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing 3 or 4 a week, and then it ended up on the top like fucking rated Apple Podcasts, and I had a sponsorship by Liquid Death, and the girl I was dating at the time, this was like years ago, this was like right before COVID.
Yeah.
It was like right before, right during COVID. She
Yeah.
fucking hated that I would be on it for hours. And I'm like, well, it takes me an hour roughly to have a conversation with somebody. And
Yep.
then I'm learning how to edit. I'm learning how to make like how to do this. I don't know anything. So yeah, it's gonna take me some time to learn how to do this so I can make it quicker. And she just got so mad. She's just like, you're doing that all the time. And I'm just like, well, it's better than me fucking going and doing dumb shit. Like I'm doing something productive, like I'm doing something
Right.
good, and like you know where I'm at. I'm in the house all the time. I'm with you. Like I'm literally sitting on the bed with like on my laptop, like fucking editing, and we're watching like her show together. So like it's not that I'm not around, but
Yeah.
like fuck, dude, like that killed my vibe for it though. Like I wanted to do podcasting so bad, like I loved it, and then that just fucking killed it for me.
Oh
So
yeah.
I never went back.
Well, I do have
I've
proposition
tried.
for you. Um,
Sorry.
I have a
Okay.
an episode idea. It's gonna be you, me, and like two, three other people, and we're gonna do a music
Yes.
draft.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is, but I'm down.
So the idea is that I haven't decided the exact terms, but you have to pick like a song if it's song based or like a band member, and we'll like either build a band or build a song list. And if somebody picks a song, that artist is gone, and so is the song. So let's say
Okay.
you pick Sad But True by Metallica. Nobody else can pick a Metallica song.
Okay.
So we have like three songs for each of them. So, you know, two the one you want to use and two backups, and we'll just go through it, and it'll be a fun time.
What are we doing about them? Like talking about each one or what?
Yeah. So the idea is like take for example the song one, or let's do the band member one. I'm choosing James Hetfield from Metallica as my vocalist, and let's just say for the sake of it all, a bunch of all the big four thrash members for all five of my band.
Okay.
I got to be like, this is why I chose this. And then maybe you also wanted to pick James Hetfield. You're like, man, I was going to pick that. And you're like, okay, here's my pick. It's Tom Araya from Slayer. And I was like, Slayer was on my list. I got to change it up. And you just have discussions about it.
Okay. So basically you just want to have a group conversation about specific band members.
Yeah, it's like the football draft. If I pick Tom Brady, you can't pick Tom Brady, of course.
No, I know, but what are we doing with the members? We're just talking about it. I don't know. I've never done the draft stuff.
So if we're doing the members thing, you're building like an all-star
A
band.
roster.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That sounds cool.
Yeah. If we're doing the songs, you're building like a play, we'll say for lack of a better word, a playlist based on the theme. And then
Yeah.
we'll get the viewers to vote on who wins. And then you get the coveted
That'd be cool.
music draft trophy. I'll make something up.
Can you give me like 1 second?
Yeah, of
I
course.
looked at my phone and my band is asking me questions.
Tell
What
them
the fuck is
I'll ask you the questions.
um the 11th. The 11th of what? Um
Not the 11th
uh
of May, that's for sure.
no, it's June 11th. Oh no, the no really good friends of ours in a band called Eternal Bloom. They just asked if we could hop on the show last second.
Yeah.
way up in Chico. Chico's about 2.5 hours from us, but
I'm gonna say it's
it's
like
on
two and a
it's
half
on the
hours.
11th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can't. Sorry. No, like I was looking at my phone and then I was ignoring everyone and then as soon as I saw, hey, we need an answer, I was like, oh fuck, I need to look then. But anyways, all right. Let's move on. I'm down to do the roster thing. I think just even talking would be cool to talk to other people.
Yeah.
I used to, so I what I do every once in a while on my Twitch stream is like do once in a blue moon for like a week straight. I'll watch every night. I'll watch for like an hour or 2 hours. I'll just watch music videos that people send me, and like I just cannot stay consistent with it. I don't know why, but like, dude, like I said, dude, like that podcast thing fucked me up, and so like
Yeah.
ever since then, like I have a whole podcast set up in my fucking room, dude. I got like the whole cross arm thing. I got
Yeah.
my speak. I got dual
Yeah, look,
monitors.
yeah.
Like I have everything. Dude, yeah, I have everything set up to do it. I just haven't.
Of course. Well, we got to talk
Just
about
another
music.
form of money.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about
All right,
music.
let's
That's what
just.
people come for. I mean, you and I could talk about non-music stuff the whole time, and I wouldn't really
Yeah.
care. But for the sake of the viewers who like the music stuff, I mean, we are Mullins over music after all. Gotta ask. So first off, we got to start with the single, the latest single. It came out in April. Love. What a great song, by the way. It's sick. The cleans are very nice. I think that's my favorite part of is the cleans. But
Uh,
let's talk about the writing process of that and the music video process.
oh my God, the music. Fuck.
We'll start with
Go.
the song itself first, and then we'll move into the music video after.
Oh God damn it. All right. So the whole song, the whole record, it's the second part two of the human experience. But it's shorter. It's only 6 songs. And I've had a few people go, why is it only 6 and not 10? The first one was 10. And I was like, well, because death we really wanted to represent like life is so long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, we were like, let's do 10 songs. Let's just do a full album to represent how long life can be. And so we were like, well, the death experience is what takes place after. And we know nothing of death,
Yeah.
We have nothing of we know nothing of the end. And so we were like, you know what? Let's make it shorter. Let's compile it as much as we know from loss versus life, because I know more about living than I know about dying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So every song on the record is a stage of like death in a sense of like the death of like a family member, or it could be like a relationship ending, like dying out. It can be like like it's just distraught. It's loss. It doesn't have to be like actual death, but it's just loss, and it's just pain. That's all the record is about, loss in one way, shape, or another. For Love, so Spirit Breaker, which was put out last year, that was the first song off the record. But at the time, we dropped it just because it was like, yo, we dropped this 10-song record. Let's drop another single that's fucking heavy to keep the ball rolling. And then we'll drop another one next year that's like technically the kickoff of the next record.
Yeah.
So Spirit Breaker just represents like after the record comes out, me and you could have like a deep dive if you're down for all the songs. I'll just do both. I'll just do
rock it out.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say, so right now I'll do 3 right now.
Yeah.
Just because by the time this comes out, our third song will be out.
Yeah.
Because our next one comes out in 10 days.
Ooh.
When does this come out?
What did I say again? Dude, I don't even the 21st. So 10 days from now would be
okay. Then yeah.
So it'll be out the week after.
Okay, perfect. So then I'll talk about the 3 songs then. And I'll show you the new one after this.
Sounds good to me.
So yeah. So the order of the songs on the record are not the same order that the singles are dropping. The singles are dropping just in the order that we're getting them done. That's all.
Yeah.
So Spirit Breaker is literally about like somebody basically breaking down who that, because like everyone, I feel like most people in the world are always born happy, loving, caring, this sparkle of joy in life. That's why an innocent, and then life fucking kills that. And so Spirit Breaker is about like how life just fucking breaks people down, and then there's no more spirit in them. There's no more life. We just get fucking beaten to shit emotionally and mentally, and then we're all broken fucking people. So that's what Spirit Breaker represents. Love, obviously, it's about a breakup. Um, and that's pretty fucking clear.
Oh yeah.
And then the next song, yeah, and then the next song that's coming out is called Absence of Warmth, and that is what takes place after Love, actually on the record. So that one is actually correct. But yeah, so Absence of Warmth, it's just part, it's basically what it's like to go through a breakup. So so Love is the initial breakup, and then absence of warmth is, them not being around anymore. And dude, both songs are like the same, like when it comes to like how it was written. You'll see what I'm talking about. But what's crazy, and this was the funniest part about the whole thing, is um I saw Linkin Park live a couple weeks ago, and
Sick.
I was really hesitant. Yeah, I was hesitant. I was like, man, like, dude, I don't want to see it with this chick. Like, I'm good. And then I thought about it a lot, and I was like, you know what? When this band started the way that it did and how it got reborn, I became the front man, and I just wanted people to give me a chance to show what I can do. And so I thought, you know what? I want to respect her as an artist and see what she can do. Even though Chester is one of a kind, she has a big role to fill, and she's gonna fucking try her best. So I watched their set, and I think they did amazing. Like I saw so many people in that crowd fucking crying, singing along to some of those songs, and it made me realize that it wasn't necessarily that it was Chester singing it or Emily, I think that's her name, but it was
Yeah, Emily.
it was the lyrical, yeah, it was the lyrical content behind it, as what it meant to some people more than others.
Yeah.
Um, and so like I was like, you know what, like this isn't gonna make me be like, oh man, I fucking love Linkin Park again, but it made me really appreciate the fact that their music 25 years after those albums came out, 20 years after those albums came out, still have the same exact emotional mental impact as they did that long ago. And I respect that about them, about the audience, everything. Like I loved it. It was pretty fucking great. I didn't think anything bad. I definitely wish that the grit was there
Yeah.
for the parts that I remember. But at the same time, she's not Chester, so I should not hold her at that level. Or that's kind of mean to say, but like I shouldn't hold her at what he does, because she's
Yeah.
not him. And I could use this as the same thing as when Eddie took over the spot for Mitch Lucker when he passed away. A
Yep.
lot of people were like fucking livid at him. And then at the end of the day, it was like Eddie was best friends with everyone of Suicide Silence. They all grew up together. And Eddie does not sound like Mitch, but he sounds fucking great.
Sounds
Eddie is a great fucking vocalist. Oh yeah, that man is fucking killing it. And to anyone to sit there and say anything bad, I'm like, dude, you could never fill either one of those guys' fucking shoes. Like, learn to respect what they're doing. They're keeping Mitch's memory alive. They're bringing those shows so that you could still sing them, and that's when it just made sense to me that like this is why they say music is meant for everyone, because it's meant for the person that's on stage singing it, and it's meant for the audience to hear back. You know what I'm saying? And so it just, I don't know, man. Like I'm like, not to be weird, but like I'm just getting really into like how it just feels to like scream a song at somebody, and then like they're like, I could see them screaming it back to me, like Love, great example.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how many people learned that song within the 2 weeks it came out when we did our headliner out here in California.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, the song came out. I think it was like maybe like a week actually prior. I was like, the song came out last week. It's called Love. Do you know that? If you know it, like sing along or whatever. And like there was like 20 people that were like screaming the parts towards me, and I was like, holy shit. There's a scene, there's a video. I'll have to find it, but there's a video that of me. You see me on stage, and I'm just like, I point at people, and I'm like, what the fuck? People saw me like pointing at them because I didn't realize people had already started learning it. But what I was going to say was the reason why I brought up Linkin Park and all that is because I realized that love and absence of warmth are there, and it was like accidental. It was just something I realized, but they are how Linkin Park has written songs in the past because the choruses were screamed, crawling in my skin. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and then, but now it's so aside. Like it's a screamed chorus that's simple yet powerful. And then instead of like the rapping part that they normally do in Linkin Park, we have David doing singing verses, and which is way backwards than most songs, but it's so fucking beautifully like put together. And it was an accident for it to be like that. Like it wasn't because we wrote it like that, but at the same time, when we were in the studio, I was like, this is how it needs to be. It needs to be like this. It needs to be like this. And they were like, kind of like, I don't know if it sounds right, blah, blah. And I was like, no, like, and then I pointed it out. I was like, Linkin Park fucking did this. If Linkin Park could fucking do this, then we can do it too. And they were like, they didn't realize it. Yeah. So it was like, fuck it. We're just going to take a chance. And then we finished Love. And then we wrote, Absence of Warmth was actually written. That's the next song that comes out. That song was written on a piece of paper, and on an iPhone between me and David while we were driving from Idaho Falls all the way to Yakima, Washington on the last tour we did. It was like a fucking 10-hour drive or 11-hour drive or something because we were in our old van that sucked ass. So it was like so me and him were up all night writing the song, singing it together. Like we were singing it, and like, dude, me and him we were so hyped on it. It kept us staying up all fucking night, but we wrote it all night, just sitting like passenger, or I was sitting passenger, he was driver, and we were singing, and we were like tapping on the thing, and like we were making we wrote the whole song like that. We went to the studio, and what you hear is what we wrote, sitting like all night on a piece of paper, and like through a phone making like audio noises and shit and like melodies. So I'm really excited for people to hear that one. It's just as powerful as Love. Sorry, that just went for so long.
No, dude, get it all out. It sounds great. And when I get to hear it later, I know it'll sound great. If it's half as good as Love, it's fantastic.
I'll say that this one at least has a breakdown.
Okay,
but it's like Love.
It's already
it's
better.
Like Love. Oh fuck! And you know what? Though it'll have a breakdown, dude. When I say it's a breakdown, the breakdown. Why am I saying it like that? The breakdown. It's because like fuck, dude. I'm like sick. The breakdown on it. David does a drop tune pedal thing, so it's like
okay,
and then it just goes boom. Like it gets so fucking low because he has a pitch tune that just drops it. Hella fucking low. He has a Helix floor thing, so it has the
you can do that in the Helix.
Yeah. So Hector, he uses mine. It's a rack unit, so he just plugs the guitar in, goes to the channel, and then but David, he has the floor one with all the pedals and the effects because he plays lead guitar.
Yeah.
But you'll see what I'm talking about. I don't know. I don't really like the breakdown but the more I've learned listen to it. Yeah, the more I've listened to it, I've been just like, you know what? Fuck it. It is what it is, and if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But I'll take any feedback, It's heavier than Love though, way heavier.
Let's be honest. Breakdowns. It's a breakdown. People are gonna love breakdowns regardless.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like your traditional like fucking pause, pop, but it has some it's there. It's there. I promise it's there. But if you want to talk about the music video,
Yeah, let's talk about it. I do want to hear about this.
okay, what do you want to know about it?
I want to know everything,
Um,
man. I want to know about how you decided that the story was, the music video, how you shot it, who you shot, where's the body buried, all that stuff.
so we had a couple different ideas actually, but it was rushed so much because we got the final so late, and the video was already set up to film, and then we had to move it all back, and it was so rushed that the day we ended up needing to shoot, none of the band could show up, and I was like, holy fuck! Well, we still have to put a video out, and we had a week, like we had like 4 days actually, or 3 days to shoot a whole video and then try to edit the whole thing. So there's two versions of it. There's the half edited version that Kitty Canalino, he's Cat Eye View on Instagram. He did his absolute best. He filmed the whole thing and then he tried to edit do me and him edit over Zoom. Like he screen shared with me
Yeah.
as he was editing it, and I was we were up for like 4 or 5 hours every the first 2 nights, fucking, and I was like watching him do it and just talking to him and like, yeah, it was a struggle, but so we decided to settle on the idea that we had just because it was like, fuck it, like we'll just make it a story only. Like there'll be nothing else. It's just story. So basically, it's just how the way that the video is like filmed is, you are, you meet someone new and like they're like a friend to you, and like you're like, oh, so the girl's name is Krista. It's my friend. She's one of the bartenders that works at the venue out here in Sacramento, or in Roseville, and we've been friends for a couple of years now. But I was like, hey, like I know you do modeling and stuff like that, and acting and things like that. So like, like, would you like to be in my video? She's like, yeah, and I was like, okay. So before you say yes, though, like, this is what I want to do in it. So you feel free to say no. It's totally cool. I just the person I originally was gonna have, literally just backed out. Like they just oh they literally just stopped like talking to me. Like not on bad terms. They just
Yeah.
no, they just got like their life just got super complicated, and they were like, "Hey, I can't do it anymore. Like, I'm sorry." I was like, "No, it's all good. Like, like if I need to move it, or I can move the date. It's fine. We'll make it work." And then she just left me on red, and I was like, "Okay, so
Okay.
that's fine." So I was like, I thought who was the only other person I know that I would maybe feel comfortable with, that you know I could see like in the video, and it was just her. So yeah, I asked her and she was like, "Yeah, no, I'm totally down." I was like, "Okay, cool." So um so basically the video is like us being friends and like me showing her all like the past music video props from all the other videos. And
Yeah.
then it shows us like having like more of like an intimate moment of like, okay, we're more than friends. And then it shows like scenes of us like hanging out, and then it switches like to a scene where it's like there's like some deception going on, and I'm really like I'm caught onto it, and then she leaves the house, and then as she's leaving the house she gets like a text, and then she realizes like, oh fuck, like he cut me off, like he broke up with me kind of thing. So she turns around, runs to the door, and then that's when like the final chorus hits and everything, and it's like a flashback montage happening while like I'm doing my final chorus
Yeah.
of like everything that we did together, and like it's a breakup thing, it's just basically
Yeah.
the lifeline of like how most breakups go, sadly, or relationships seem to go.
Yeah.
And then yeah, but it was funny though because like while we are shooting the video, like every time like I like did anything, like because she was like sitting on my lap, or like we'd be
Yeah.
like, having to hold hands or anything. Every time I was like, "Is this okay? Is this okay?" She's like, "Ryan, yes, you could." She's like, "I already said yes to this." I was like, I just want like confirmation." She's like, I consent. And then she looked at the camera and she like got really close. She's like, I consent to this man touching me. And I was like, thanks. I'm still gonna ask. I was like, you're just my friend, and like I just feel awkward because I don't know how to. I've never been in this. I've never acted, so I'm trying to learn how
Yeah.
to act and like be professional. And but like I have you know a really pretty girl sitting on my lap, so I'm like, well, you're cute, but like I have to be professional
Of course.
because I want to be professional for you and for myself. So like it was just more of like so playful banter. So it was just really nice. But no, like we did great. She was a great, like teammate to work with, and um, yeah, no, it was great. She made me feel really comfortable, and I was able to also make her feel really comfortable, and yeah, it was just really nice. It was really nice. It was just really awkward, but it was super nice, and
And it
um,
turned out great.
yeah, no, like so that new edited version, we all agreed came out way better because they had more time, and one of our friends from the Beheading the Traitor YouTube page, he
Yeah.
re-edited it for us and was like, "Yo, I'll put it on this like going trip, dude." He's like, "I could tell you only had a couple days." I was like, "Dude, we had like 2.5 days or
Yeah.
like 2 nights basically to edit this bitch." But anyways, yeah, now me and her are closer now. Like we talk all the time now. Well, I wouldn't say all the time. We play a video game together now all the time. I'll say that. We play a game every day together, but we talk like every other couple days. But
The game
every
is
day we're like talking on the game. Dude, I don't it's called if, if I say it, people are gonna be like, you're weird. But it's a fucking butterfly game she got me into. And it's like, well, dude, because like I was playing Pokemon Go,
yeah.
and because we went to go get pizza, and then she's like, I have this. I was like, oh, I forgot to grab my Poke Walker. She's like, what the fuck is that? I was like, it's so I can catch Pokemon. She's like, what? And I was like, yeah. She's like, really? And I was like, yeah. And I handed it to her, and then it started vibrating. She's like, what do I do? And I was like, click the button. She clicked it, and I showed her on my phone that I caught it, and she's like, no way. And I was like, yeah. So when we went to get pizza, the whole time it's like going off, and she's just like hooked on like pressing the button. And so she's like, I have this game that I play on my phone and I don't feel bad admitting it. I was like, well, what is it? And she's like, it's this butterfly game. And I was like, no fucking way. So she showed me. She's like, you should add me and play. And I was like, okay, and I'm down. So now that's what we play together every day.
What's up?
You're
Sounds
just
like
like
a fun
literally
game.
you're like collecting. I don't know if it's fun. It's just more for like you just collect stuff and grow butterflies. It's like I don't know, it's a butterfly hatchery. And you're like,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. She knows what she's doing because every day, like there's like a scoreboard thingy and like she's just fucking skyrocketing and I'm like
Number one by like
barely putting effort. Dude, I don't know, she's killing it. That's all I know. Because I know now that I've been playing it for a while now, I know how it works and I'm like, bro, like you're putting in mad effort into that shit. But anyways,
maybe it's not
butterfly
effort
game.
for her. Maybe it's
I
not
don't
effort.
No, it's not. She knows what she's doing because when she showed me, she was like, boop, 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 boop. And then when I'm looking at my screen, I'm like, fuck, I gotta zoom in and click that. I'm like, what the fuck is that? But no, shout out to Krista. She's the homie. Like, love her. Like, hands down, like one of the coolest people to work with. And yeah, that was my co-star. And that was my first acting. Well, yeah, that was my first like full acting like um video ever because I've done other music videos, obviously being in a band, but like that's my first acting one, which was
Yeah.
weird. I couldn't be a real actor. I just smiled the whole time. I can't stop smiling.
Yeah, you just gotta work on the smile. If you're not smiling all the time, I think you can do it.
Dude, I can't.
Do
I
that.
just smile and then my brain can't retain information that well. So trying to remember
That's
lines, fuck
understandable.
no.
Dude, I can
Dude,
barely
hard
remember
enough to
what I have
remember
for
lyrics.
Oh yeah.
What did I eat today? I
I,
ate these
I
today.
yes.
That's what I ate today.
Good choice.
Actually, oh wait, no. I went to Buffalo Wild Wings today and I had I
Oh,
still have half a
Dito.
burger. I had Dude, yeah, jalapeno burger, fire.
What's up, man? B Dubs is the shit.
Dude, it is, man. Dude, every day, or not every day, every time I eat it, it always hits. I get the same thing every time I go there. Then it hits.
I will say one time, this last time, my wife and I went, there was nobody there except us. And there were like two workers in the front of the house. Awful experience. It was, and compared to being like full, you would think it would be like perfect experience. Nah, the wings were overcooked. They were dry. They didn't give my my wife loves the garlic parm, but she likes the sauced one, not the dry rub. Came out and brought her the dry rub. She's like, "Oh my gosh, it's so sour," and she's like,
Oh no.
"Awful." And the service, like we were getting from the one person, and we were their only table, was awful.
That makes me so sad to hear.
And I'm like, I love Buffalo Wild Wings, and it's usually good. And that one specifically is usually good. But no, not that time. We went for lunch and we haven't been back since. It's been like 2 months.
I I don't blame you. I went so today I went at 11:30 because there's a card shop next to it, a brand new one, and I wanted to check out that card shop, but they didn't open till 12. So I
Yeah.
was like, fuck it, I'll get some lunch. Fuck it. I'm finally feeling better. I'm gonna get some food. And it was one waitress, and there was in the bar area was the only thing open, and there was me on the far left end of one bar of the bar, a guy on the far right, then there was three tables full of people, and she fucking handled all of it by herself, and my food came out fucking fantastic.
That's,
And the only thing that sucked was like the only thing that sucked was that I was ready to leave, and like she just took forever to come back to like get my tab. But like
yeah.
in my mind though, I'm like in my mind I look at it this way that so I've been like really weird about things lately the last couple of years of my life. Well, maybe like last like 2 years, but I've been thinking like if it's not meant for me, then I shouldn't rush it. So with that was saying that the reason in my mind when I'm sitting there I'm like, man, I want to leave, but I'm thinking about it and I was like, you know what, like I should just enjoy that I'm sitting here and it's really nice. It's a nice day. I was like, you know what, like I'm just gonna enjoy this moment. And so like it's about changing the perspective.
Yeah.
And then she literally, as soon as I thought about that, she walked up and was like, "Oh, are you ready to get out of here?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I am." I was like, I like, looked around, I was like, "Can you read my fucking mind?" But no, she's seen me before, so she was like, I think it's because she also like knows that me and my friends will go there, and like
Yeah.
we'll stay there for a while after, just hang out. So I think that in her mind, she probably thought like, oh, he's probably just gonna stay here for a while.
Of course. Okay.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
don't know. That's one. The two that I go to over here are really good.
What's your B Dubs? You said the jalapeno burger. What do you get for the side?
So I just get the all-American burger with
Okay.
no tomatoes, no onions, no mayonnaise. Add jalapenos,
Okay.
and then they give me seasoned fries on the side, and I get a tall Angry Orchard, a 22 ounce.
That's a good one right there, man.
It is because like, dude, it's so filling. Like, it's so filling. Normally, I eat the whole thing, but today I just because it was my first full meal since
Yeah.
fucking Thursday last week. I was like, I can't eat all this. Oh yeah, I've lost 9 pounds over the weekend because I
Dude,
was sick.
that's not healthy,
'Cause I
man.
just couldn't eat. Bro, I was sick. I just slept and drank water and
I
Gatorade.
was
That's
gonna
all
say, I
I
hope
did.
you were pounding the fluids.
Yeah, water and Gatorade. That was it. But right now too, today I woke up. I was feeling kind of like ugh, this morning, but I was like, nah, I got so much shit I got to do. Bam, hit the road. Fucking drove around, picked up our set list because I had it printed out. Then I went to
Yeah.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Then I went to Target. Went to the card shop. Um, then yeah, went to the grocery store and then came home. And then I've been tearing apart my closet. Oh, and well, no, and then for like an hour and a half, I sat on my fucking phone trying to play catch up on my fucking text messages and my Facebook thing. And now I haven't been able to get off my phone because it's just as soon as I reply to one person, they just reply back. And I'm like, no, I can't. It's like never ending. And then like I'm trying to book this tour and like dates are falling off. So now we have to change locations. And I'm like, bro, we announced it with all these locations already locked in. So now I'm just frustrated.
Dude,
So we'll see what happens.
you got this. You are the Ryan
Thanks.
Titan.
Bro,
The iconic
I have a
beanie.
few homies. Dude, I have a few homies that like I'll be at a show and they'll be like, "Is that the Ryan Titan?" And I'm just like, "God damn it, Jonathan!" Fuck every time.
That's fantastic.
But thanks. What's next on your list?
What is next on my list? Well, we got to talk about Titan Fest. This year's
Oh,
Titan
I
Fest
knew it.
specifically.
God, dude, this
Hey,
year's
hey,
is
man! I gave you a list of things I
crazy.
was going to work. Oh, that we were going to talk about. So you had it coming.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, no, it started out as just 2 days. It just started out as a Friday and a Saturday thing, and it felt pretty like just felt pretty good about it. And then we added a third day because the lady that does the event coordinating at the facility,
Yeah.
she drives next to a School of Rock all the time. And so one day she drove over there and was like, "Hey, there's this band that does this thing, and I'll see if he would be down to have you guys on. Would you guys want to play it?" And the girl was like, "Oh my God, that'd be really great. Let me talk to my manager." Well, the manager went to Titan Fest last year and he was like, "I would love to work with Ryan." And so the manager knew who I was, which I didn't realize who he knew who I was because I didn't know who he was. But he was like, they were immediately so excited about it. And I was like, fuck it. I was like, yeah, like, I was like, the only thing is, though, we have to do it on Thursday because, like, I'm on a tour. So, like, I can't be there that last day. If we do it on that Sunday, I have a show.
Yeah.
And so they were like, "No, we'll do it on Thursday. Like it's only for like 3 hours." And I was like, "Huh? How does that work?" And they were like, "Because they were like, oh yeah, we have 25 kids." And I was like, 25 fucking kids? How are they playing a show for 3 hours? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. And they were like, "Just come out to like our little shows and we'll show you how it works." And I was like, "Okay." So this was the craziest thing. I've never seen anything like this. So basically, uh, like how it works is they have like all the instruments set up, right?
Yeah.
Vocals, guitars, drums, basses, all this stuff set up all in a spot. And then they have a set list of all the songs that are going to be covered, right?
Yeah.
And then each group of kids will play a song, run off. Some of them will leave and other ones will come and fill those spots. And it's every song the group changes to different people playing guitar. Some of them play bass and they play piano, then they do vocals and they play drums, but they're switching members on the instruments as this is happening. So like one song you'll see a girl playing guitar and the next one you'll see her play fucking drums, or you'll see her play drums and then you see her sing. And then the guy's playing guitar, then he plays bass. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like this is wild. Like it was amazing to watch happen. Like I was like, dude, this is crazy. But I thought it was fantastic. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's have you guys on. Like that would be pretty cool. So Titan Fest 2025, I almost said 2023, 2025 is
2023, 2 years later.
I know, right? Um so how it is that it's I call it 0 day because it's not a real day. But 0 day is like we're still good. So 0 day, which is going to be that Thursday, we're setting up the whole event. Because that was the plan originally. But basically, what my job is for that is I'm going to set up main stage, get that completely up and ready for them to play. And then they're going to bring their own sound and everything. So they're going to handle all their sound. And while they're dealing with their sound and the stage is set up, I'm going to be doing everything else for days 2 and 3. So me and my team are still going to be setting up all the props. We'll be setting up the second stage inside the building. So we're still going to be working, but it's going to be a free event. And that's why I'm making it free so anyone could show up. But I am looking into getting basically like, I want to look into getting fencing if I can of some sort. or maybe not really necessarily fencing, but like a way to block off the back area because I really want to still get a basically a ticket checker or like a person checker. So I'm gonna have a girl at the front having at the desk and just say, hey, like I know this isn't like the coolest thing to do on this because it's for a couple hours, but if I could just have you sitting here basically and like talking to everybody when they walk in, we're gonna give everyone a wristband, make them understand like this is still part of the festival. Like I still have to take attendance account. It's for free, but you know the concept of it though is that it helps me get numbers and it allows me to have analytics for the next year. And also, we could also talk to those people while they're there and say, hey, thanks for coming. This is the first day. Um, if you guys want to support the festival and come out over the weekend, like all of you guys, you can get tickets right now through, our door person on your way out, or you can go online. But we're gonna try to push as many extra little sales that we can last minute for that. You know what I'm saying? Like that is like that's all so I'm leveraging it. I'm using it as a free day for the community, but also as like a one last little like nudge to try to get more people to the event.
Of course.
And I'm giving all the kids though, all the kids are getting in for free. So I've already talked to my team and it's like, hey, if any of the kids want to go, like I'm just gonna give them all tickets, but like their parents they'll get 50% off because I still have to make money to pay for all this shit.
Of course.
But I don't mind giving all the kids artists, I don't mind giving all the kids tickets to get in for free. But yeah, and then day 2 is gonna be metalcore. It's gonna be like hard rock metalcore, and then day 3 is gonna be deathcore, beatdown, and like very small like versions of metalcore. I think there's only 2 metalcore bands, us and I think that's it. No, I think petroglyphs is like they're like metalcore but like gent, and I think that's about it. Neverbloom, I don't even think Neverbloom's not metalcore. They're like gent with metalcore. I
They're
don't know what they
gent
are.
adjacent.
Yeah, but I don't think there's actually any other metalcore bands. A Moment's Notice, I would say, but they don't have as much singing as we do. I think we're the only like actual metalcore band on the bill. I can't even think in my mind who else is on it
that
that
day?
could be.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
day. It would
A
be
Moment's Notice, Never Bloom, Grind Control. Well, Killing Curve,
crowd. It's
Crowd
crowd
Control.
control. They're hard.
I
Yeah,
can't-
they're straight hardcore.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
figured
know.
with a name like that, they gotta be.
Dude, every time I edited that fucking that image or even just read it, I think it's ground, and I'm like, no, it's crowd.
It does look like Ground Control, which would be sick too.
It does. Yeah, I thought. I mean, either way, it sounds good. It makes sense.
You got Parabellum, Reminiscence.
They're like straight thrash metal, deathcore, Dark Watch, deathcore, Cultist, deathcore,
One more problem. One more. I'm pretty sure I said that one.
hardcore.
One more problem.
Yeah, they've been popping off a lot the last year and a half. They just came out like 2 years ago.
Okay.
They played our headliner, Caved In. Oh, Caved In is deathcore, but they have some singing, so they have some metalcore influence.
There you go.
No, I think we're actually the only metalcore band. Holy shit.
The Beauty and Death.
Yeah. Deathcore straight. They're like grindcore, I think, actually.
Oh yeah. Well, since we're going down the list, let's talk about the day beforehand too. You got the Human Experience in full, of course, gonna be sick.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, wait, I want to say this.
Okay,
So
let's hear
I know you've seen the thing about trying to get the All American Rejects to play Titan Fest, right?
it. Correct. Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
it.
So
I've watched it more than a few
if
times.
we can make it, oh shit. So if we could get it to work, then, and I don't want to do this, but if we end up getting it to work, we have to put them on day 2.
Of
So
course.
what we were thinking Yeah, so what we were thinking is that if we did put them on day 2, since it's such a long fucking day, has 15 bands, we were thinking of taking some of the songs off of day 1 because we're gonna have to.
That's a
Because
good
what?
idea.
So our original plan, yeah. So our original plan was to play one album in full and then our second album in full on the next day, right?
Yeah.
But if they're gonna play, then sets need to be cut short or things need to be moved forward a lot, or I don't mind us taking the hit and us losing songs. So I was thinking like, okay, fuck it. If this ends up working, then what we'll do is we'll just take our best songs and we'll play them on both days. Which
Yeah.
I know it's not like the best thing to do, but with the idea of it being like with them on it, I would rather do 2 good sets back to back and then have them fucking play than do one full album and then I couldn't even play the new album the next day
Yeah.
and play no new songs. And then people would be like, fuck, like they didn't play any new songs. It's like, well, because I'm trying to get them to play because their set's going to be an hour, hour and a half.
Oh
Easy.
yeah, for sure.
So I don't know. It's either that or because I wanted to put them on Friday, or I move like 1 or 2 bands over from Saturday, and I'm just like, hey, are you guys cool with playing Friday? Or because like they're gonna fucking play, and I need to make sure there's time for them, or I make everyone set shorter, or I start earlier. What would you like? Would you like to play on a different day, or would you be okay with playing way earlier in the fucking day? Like, but you get to say you play with All American Rejects, but
This is true.
you'll play at 1 o'clock instead of 3 o'clock.
I think for the opportunity to be on the same bill as All American Rejects, I would take a shorter set. I'd go earlier, whatever.
Exactly. So that's in my mind. That's the other thing is that like, I would just have to start it earlier and just tell bands like, yo, they said yes, they're fucking playing day 2. I know like y'all don't want to hear this, but I'm gonna start the show like an hour and a half earlier. So apologies, but you know what? At least you get to say you play with All American Rejects. Is everyone on board with this? Too bad. Like it's gonna happen. If you want to
It's
back out, you can.
happening.
But dude, yeah, and I know that if somebody jumped off of it and somebody was like, "Oh, you jumped off of the bill because you had to play earlier because All American Rejects playing," some people would be like, "You're a fucking idiot. Like, just play
Yeah,
the show." Like,
dude.
what? Like, and there's no times are even like solidified right now, anyways. Like,
Yeah, so
I
it's
don't figure that
fluid.
out till 2 weeks before the show.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
So 2 weeks before the show, that's when like we announce who's all playing when. Because so how it works is, and like you know what's funny is I've had one band ever give me backlash about this, but then I realized how old these guys were, and I realized the kind of music they wrote, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, that's why. That's why you have that mentality." But so the way that Titan Fest works is, um, I give every local band 50 tickets. I give them 50 tickets for the day they're playing, and I give them 25 that are
The other day.
sorry, I give them 25. Yeah, so I give them 25 of the day they're playing, and I give them 50 of the weekend pass. So say you wanted to sell a ticket to the day you're playing, but someone's like, "Well, I want to go both days." Well, it's like, "Well, I could sell you a ticket for both days, and I still get 50% of that sale." So
Yeah.
how I'm paying bands is for every ticket you sell, you get 50% of. For every time somebody buys online and marks your band down, I give you a percentage of that. And for everybody that walks up to the door and puts your name down on the paper, then you get more money at the end of the night. So I'm giving bands 3 ways to get paid. But
Oh, yeah.
people gave me shit when they were like, you're making bands sell tickets to get paid. And I was like, yes, because it helps bring people to the fucking show because this shit ain't for free. And if I just put everyone on it and hope for fucking the best to happen, it would never have ended up as good as it was last year.
That's
And they were like, well, then how much do you charge them? I was like, I don't charge them anything. They're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, if you don't sell your tickets, then just give them to me. And then I give you 50% of whatever you fucking sold. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's not a lot. For me, if you only sold 5 tickets at $20. That's like what, $100? Then you walk away with $50. That's not my fault that you got only $50. But do you know how many bands play shows and don't even get fucking paid for it?
Yeah.
I've played shows where I did sell 25, 30, 40 tickets and still did not get paid because the venue like fee costed so much.
Yeah.
Like for the bands or whatever. For me with my bands and like how I run my fest is I know what my my overhead is.
Yeah.
And so my job as the headliner and the person putting it together is I make sure we sell enough tickets to fund that whole thing. So if a band didn't want to sell tickets for whatever reason, they just didn't want to, fine by me, but they walk up and said, "Hey, we didn't want to sell any tickets." I'd be like, "Okay, well, you guys can still play, but like, I can't pay you anything because unless somebody walks up and writes your name down, I have no money to give to you." But I'll say this before everyone freaks out. I've had 2 bands in the past sell like literally like 4 tickets. I still gave them $100 each because I had enough money from my hard work and from the other band's hard work and from people walking up. I was still able to give them $100. That isn't like something that I'm saying like I should be praised for or anything. But what I'm saying is like, because so many people put in hard work, other bands put in hard work, and my team and just the name itself brought in a lot of people, I was able to still give money to bands for playing because I believe that every band should be played. But if you show up to my event and you don't even fucking sell 1 ticket, like that's kind of like a slap in my face.
Yeah, you didn't
like
even
I gave
try.
you 6 months. Yeah, like I gave you 6 months to sell fucking tickets and you didn't even sell 1. Like, is that disrespectful to me? And like it's disrespectful to everyone that is working together, because how I think about it is that, when I'm playing a show and they're like, "Hey, I need you to sell tickets," they're relying on me to do my job as a fucking support local band,
Yeah.
as an
it's
opening
your part.
act. So exactly. And that's what creates good relationships. And that's what puts money in my band fund. And there's no other fucking venue out here that's going to give you 50% of your ticket sales.
No.
And they're going to give you money on anyone that bought tickets online. And they're going to give you money for people that walk up. So like I had one band, like I said, get mad at me because I was like, well, I believe that physical ticket sales are very important. I still think it's so relevant. Like, here's a good example. If Aftershock or any major festival was like, "Yeah, we have a stage, we're allowing 5 local bands to play it or 3 local bands to play it." And then it'd be like, "Okay, well, how do you choose that?" Well, we're going to look at, we're going to have all these submissions, right? So say they get, 30 submissions. And then on the 30 submissions they get, it's like they talk to the promoters and they go, "Oh yeah, these 8 bands, fucking every time they play, we have them on national act shows, they sell 50, 60, 70, 80 tickets. But then all these other ones only sell like 4 or 5. That's, and like, I know you could look at me and go, "Well, that's kind of fucked." Yeah. Well, it's more so like, I know you can look at me and go, "Well, that's kind of fucked." But at the same time, like, what's fucked is that this shit costs a lot of fucking money and people don't think it does. And they're forgetful about it. They don't realize how much goes into it. So if I was putting something on like Aftershock and I allowed bands to jump on and be like, "Yo, I've heard good things. You guys can sell tickets. Like, how about this? Like, I'll sing you guys 20 tickets. And if you could sell 20 tickets, I'll give you 50% of that 20 tickets." Do you know how many bands would fucking jump at that and be like, "Bro,
yeah.
I can make," like, think about that. An Aftershock ticket's $500 fucking dollars. If I helped Aftershock get 20 extra sales and I got to walk away with that X amount of money, even if they were like, "We'll give you 25%, 25% of $500 times 20, like, is a lot. It's a lot. But my point is that if I put the fucking groundwork, yeah, no, it's not. But if I put the groundwork in to sell those tickets, then that's, and I'm bringing people to the show, that's you should get paid for that effort, 100%. And like, I've had people kind of give me shit about pre-sales, and I'm like, well, have you ever seen a flyer on a show from a big band and go, tickets available now? That's the same fucking thing as a local band posting a flyer saying tickets available now. The
Sure.
only difference is one band has to work harder than the other band.
Yep.
Like, fuck. What I do not, though, I will never support, and I will never do, is that I will never do pay to play. And
Yes.
a lot of people will get this confused. Yeah, and a lot of people will get this confused with how we run it. Like I said, I give you physical tickets. Whatever you don't sell, you still play the festival. I'm still going to pay you however much I can pay you, I will pay you. But you're still going to get paid for, your time and effort and, putting a show on because I'm paying you to perform.
Yeah.
So I'm still going to pay you no matter what. And then you just give me your tickets that you didn't sell. That's it. That no harm, no foul. You sell 5, then fuck it. You sold 5 and you still walk away with $50 or maybe more if I could give you more. Pay to play is when a venue says, hey, I'm going to give you 50 tickets and whatever you don't sell, you have to pay for the rest for out of your pocket.
Yep.
Or you can't play. That is pay to play. And I will never fucking do that shit.
No. That's one of those you purchase your tickets to your show and then you have to proceed to sell it. And that
and then
the thought of that is just completely ridiculous. I've never
You're not even making your money back.
No.
You're not even you're only making your money back. You're not there's no profit. There's no profit.
Well,
the only profit you would make is if you sold fucking 500 shirts in that venue to the 500 people, 50 shirts to the room of 50 tickets they gave you.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I got in a heated argument to the booking agent for the Viper Room out in Hollywood because they wanted to book us. And I told them, I was like, it's $350. And the lady was like, $350 what? And I was like, $350. And she's like, no, I have to give you tickets. I was like, I'm not from there. I was like, I'm from 8 hours away. I was like, I am not going to sell physical tickets to your fucking show. And she's like, well, what do you mean? I was like, if you want me to, I will sell physical tickets, but I am not going to pay you for them. And then she's like, well, you can give me a $250 deposit and then you'll get it back. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what? I was like, how about you give me tickets to sell and then I give you tickets that I don't sell and you pay me out from what I sold. And she's like, why would I do that? I was like, so that I can make money and you can make money. And then I'm not losing out because I have to drive that far. And that's more than fucking $350 in fuel.
Yeah.
I was like, honestly, I should be charging you $800. And she's like, $800, your band's not even that big. And I was like, I'm just being real. I was like, I drive a fucking bus. I have a full band. We're all taking time off of work. We're losing a lot of fucking money just to get down there. And then you want me to play, which I will have a great time doing. But I'm still a performer. You still have to pay for my time down there. So it's funny to have that kind of conversation and tell somebody like, I'm not going to sell your tickets. But that's because if I don't, I have to pay for it out of my pocket.
Yep.
For my event, like to reiterate, if I did, which I don't, but if I say there was a band out of state that I booked and they were like, hey, if you want to, pitch us some of your tickets, we'll sell some and then we'll just give you what we don't sell. I'd be like, fuck it, I'm down. If you feel like you want to do that, but I have a guarantee for you. Oh yeah, that's the other thing is that I have guarantees for all my bands that are outside of Sacramento. So any band that's driving further than outside of Sacramento, basically, I have all of them having a guarantee that they don't have to I just told them, hey, just promote it and just just let people know, hey, this is where the ticket link is. That's all you got to do. I don't give physicals to any band outside of the local scene in this area because I'm hiring them at that point as a performer to come play. So I'm paying for their time. And that's how I want to be when I go to play shows. If someone's going to request me to play their show, then fucking pay me. If you want me to sell tickets, then expect me to want some of that money or most of it because I'm putting in the groundwork to get people there.
Yep.
but don't make me pay for the extra shit. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, I got a heated argument with her about it, and she was like, "That's not how it works in Hollywood." And I was like, "And that's why you're begging for a band all the way from Sacramento, because no one else from Hollywood wants to play for
Say
you
it
guys."
again, brother. Say it again.
Dude, the Viper Room, the Roxy, fucking what's the other one?
Is it
God damn it.
Whiskey a Go Go?
There's another one. Whiskey a Go Go. All those are pay to play. Unless you're on the bill with a band that's huge that could sell it out with no problems, all those are pay to play. And I know this because I've talked to all the people that book there, and all of them are like, "Yeah, we give you 50 tickets, and then you have to sell them, and like whatever you don't pay for, you pay out of pocket." And I'm like, "So pay to play?
Yeah.
Like that's a
They go,
fucking
no, we're
scam,
not
dude."
pay
Like,
to play. We're just getting you
yeah,
to buy the tickets, and you could sell them.
if you want, but you don't have to.
You don't have to.
Yeah,
No, that's pay to play, man. That's pay to play.
yeah. Exactly. But if, say, they called me and they were like, "Hey, we want you guys to play. We'll give you 50 tickets. Do your best. And then, like, whatever you don't sell, just turn them in. And then we'll just pay you out from however many you sold." I'd be like, "All right." I would fucking jump on any opportunity, because that's how Sacramento works. That's why Sacramento's scene is so prosperous and why so many people love playing here, because that's just how it is.
Dude,
It's
people
very
always
like,
skip over Hollywood. They go Orange County, they go Sacramento. They don't play in Hollywood because
um, the,
unless you're a band that
I
sells
played
out.
exactly. Unless you're a band that sells out, they're gonna force you to sell tickets or buy your own tickets. And
Yeah.
like I said, for Titan Fest, no band will ever have to do that. I asked local bands to sell physical ticket sales so that they could get people to the show. They can get paid out as much as they want. Last year, I paid 2 bands over $500 a piece because they sold so many fucking tickets.
There you go.
So like, and like, so people could get mad at me and be like, well, blah blah blah. I'm like, but dude, ask those bands. I was with my promise. Okay, here's another one. I'm not gonna say where this was, who I was with, nothing. But we Titan Fest had like a whole show set up.
Tell me later off.
And so we had no, it's fine. It's fine. I just want people to understand, like, like, this is how serious I am about like paying the 50% deal, like, because like this shit costs money. All of it costs money. But I still think that, like, if you're a local band from the area and your job, and I like I said, people are gonna get mad at me for saying this, because I'm a local band and I'm selling pre-sales. Fuck it. So that's why I feel like I can say this, because I am a local band. But we had a show. We had a Titan Fest. No, not even, dude. Fucking 3,500. No, we got 3,000 monthly listeners. That's nothing. That's
more than a lot of people have.
Anyways,
dude.
I don't think so. But thank you, I appreciate it. Anyways,
Of course.
we had a festival last year where there was 10 bands on the bill, and like only one of them sold like 75 tickets or 80 tickets or something like that. Yeah, so I gave them a fat fucking payout. And then as like all the other bands were just handing all their stacks in, and like there was some of the people that I was working with were like, well, they already left the show, like I don't want to pay them. They didn't even stay, and they didn't even sell they sold like one ticket. 2 bands didn't even sell any at all. And I was like, well, what about the walk-ups? And they're like, well, what do you mean walk-ups? I was like, did any of those bands bring people? And they were like, well, yeah, they brought some people. I was like, okay, well, did you take account for that? And they were like, yeah. I was like, okay, I'm going to see it. So I saw their list, and I divided all of it. And they were like, you really want to give these bands money? They left. I was like, yeah. I was like, they might have not sold any pre-sales, but they had, 8 people walk up. This band had 6 people walk up. This one had 7 people walk up. And I was like, I still want them to get 50% of their cut. And they're like, well, that means less for you. I was like, that's fine. Yeah. I was like, as long as they could go around and say, oh yeah, we played and only made, $75. Someone would be like, well, that's kind of fucked. Like, well, no, we only brought, 7 people.
Yeah,
so
we only sold. We only technically sold 7.
Yeah, no, they didn't sell anything because they didn't fucking bring. They didn't sell pre-sales.
People just marked their name on a little thing, and
Exactly. Exactly. But I still consider that as that I still consider as they brought people to the event and that's what I
Yeah.
want. And so they still get paid for that. And when I was talking to the promoters about it, they were like, but that means you get less. And I was like, that's fine. I was like, I'm not in this to make money. I want to make money to pay everything off, but I'm not trying to get fucking rich. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to get money to pay for all my ends so that I could keep doing this every year and it can get bigger. And they just kind of looked at me and they were like, "You're crazy." And I was like, "Why?" And they're like, "Because like you're losing money." I was like, "But the bands are getting paid. They played. They still deserve to get fucking paid."
Dude, and
And
when you
so
think about it,
it was just
you're not
another
losing money. The other bands are gaining money. You're not, this is money that they worked hard to earn. They brought people, so
yeah,
they're gaining money for their work, and you're also benefiting from them bringing people to the show.
exactly. And like that's the thing is that it's like even though like I said, some bands got paid like fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Well, they got paid money, obviously, but like the promoters were like, but they left, and I was like, that's fine. I was like, I would have loved if they stayed, but at the end of the day, like I want people to at least if they talk about me with about the festival and about working with me, I want them to at least be able to say if they did have a bad experience, I would at least like them to say, yeah, I didn't have the best experience, but he kept his word. He gave me 50% of what I sold. And then somebody would be like, well, at least he did that. I would rather them say at least he paid me 50% of his word. Or sorry, that sounds weird to say it that way. He kept his word and paid 50% of of the ticket sales with our name on it. I
Yeah.
would rather have that honesty and that truth than it be like, yeah, he didn't even fucking pay us, dude. I
Yeah.
would never want to be a person that never pays a band. Like that is like my biggest fear about running Titan Fest is like having a bad year or something where I can't afford to pay everyone properly. I
Yeah.
don't know what I would fucking do. And so like that's why I just tell bands, you can make as much money off of my event as you want. Fucking utilize it because last year bands were making hundreds of dollars off of me. Like I said, two bands I paid 500 for. And
Yeah.
then three bands I did 350 for. And then like five of the other ones or six now, I think it was like five or six, I paid over $250 towards. There was
Mm.
only two bands that I paid only $100 to. And that's because one jumped. Oh yeah, that's the thing. One band literally jumped on literally a week or like 3 or 4 days before Titan Fest because one of the bands dropped off. And I was like, "Well, here you go. Here's $100." And they were like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yep." They're like, "We didn't bring anybody." I was like, "I don't care." I was like, "You guys, you helped me. You filled the spot. You guys had you played a great set. I'm sorry that you were opening, but it's what you got.
Yeah.
And I here's $100." So like I still fucking brought money, gave money to a band. Like I still figure out a way to make it work. And you know
Yeah.
what? Last year, after after the whole weekend, after everything was left and said, I was still like technically negative like $2,000. So even though like I'm
Well,
looking at all the money that I had that night and I was like, fuck, dude, we made bank. After I realized it, because then I had to like pay everybody and then pay everything, I was like,
yeah.
damn, like I'm negative $2,000. But I kept my word. I kept my
Yeah.
promise and I kept my fucking word. And to me, that goes a lot longer than me saying, oh man, look at all this fucking money I have and then not paying everyone, ruining my reputation, never be able to do this again. Like one day I'll make
Blue
money
Ridge.
off of it so that I
Uh,
won't be negative. Oh fuck. Okay, Blue Ridge, they got hit with a storm. That's way different, man. They got
no,
fucked
I
over.
was
That was a
there.
storm.
There was no storm.
There was no storm. I heard there was.
So here's what happened. I'll give you the quick and short and simple of it because I've said it so many times on this podcast. Day one ended short because there was a giant storm that lasted for about 2 hours. Getting back to our cars took 6 hours of standing in the freezing cold with soaking wet
No
clothes.
fucking way. No way.
People got giardia from the water fountains. Day
What is
two
that?
and three and four, clear skies. It sprinkled a tiny bit on the third day for 30 minutes, and that was it. They were turning people away at certain points, saying, oh, they're closing down, and did not. They didn't pay their employees, and they didn't have access to showers either, the employees. So they screwed their employees more than they screwed anybody going to the fest. And the employees walked out.
See, this is fuck. This scares me. See, like, oh man. So like, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, this it costs a lot.
Yeah.
So,
And they oversold
um,
by 20,000 tickets.
no way.
Yeah, they sold,
That's
I
fucking
believe it was
crazy.
almost 80,000, and the venue only held 60. The racetrack.
Fuck. That's crazy, dude. See,
That's
that
not even
scares
counting
me,
the
bro.
people that just
Because like,
came in.
yeah, dude. Oh my God, that's scary. That's scary to put an event on, dude. It's terrifying because you don't know what could go wrong. Like what, like a big fear I have since it's in August is like people like dying from heat or getting heat strokes or something. But like, um, the venue that we're working with, dude, they're going in like overtime
They
with
have
like or
insurance.
overdrive with like, yeah, but it's not about that. Like, it's just about safety. Like, so we're
Yeah.
going into overdrive. We're getting like the event's gonna be covered for like the most part. We're having they're trying to find like giant fans right now. They're trying to grab a couple of those so we can put them up around the places. And we're buying like a shit. They're like buying crates of fucking waters.
Good on them.
They have a free water station. Yeah, they have a free water station. They have Gatorades. They're gonna have like way more. They're just having a lot more non-alcoholic beverages, even though it's a
Hydrate,
brewery,
hydrate,
because
hydrate.
they're realizing like, yeah, exactly. Because they realize, like, you know what? Like, we might not make a killing on alcohol because it's hot as fuck. But if we substitute that with like the waters, the Gatorades, and all that, and they're selling them for only $1 a piece, like fucking cheap. Like, I know, but like I said, there's a free water station, so there is free water, and they're just gonna do water bottles too. So if somebody bought a water bottle and then was like just gonna fill it up, they totally could. Like, it doesn't matter. We're not like I said, we're not all there trying to make money. We're just trying to make sure people can survive, and then any money that's spent at the venue, it just keeps it up. It just just keeps it all up. That's all it is. Um, but yeah, no, this shit ain't cheap. Like right
No.
now, like I said, Titan Fest right now is costing me 10,000, and that's not even counting a few other things that I have to add. That's not counting any of my promo, my marketing. That's not
Yep.
counting any of my props. Like, the stage that we've been building because we've been adding on. So the main one, I don't know if you saw in the footage from last year, but we added
I
on
remember
to
last.
that main stage. Okay, so we added on, so we made it even bigger, and that was $1,100. Oh, and yesterday I just bought a new backdrop, which cost me like $210, and it's fucking it's like I think it's 18 feet wide by
Okay.
8 feet tall or 15 feet. I don't know. It's huge as fuck. That's all I know.
Dude, when you
But
get it
yeah,
up,
like it's just
snap me a pic,
oh, it's
man.
gonna look so sick. Dude, I'm excited. I was like measuring, like using a tape measure, and then I was like looking at the wall that like in my living room, and I was like, holy shit, that's as big as my fucking wall. I was like, dude, that's gonna be huge.
Hell yeah,
And
dude.
I just have to I have to figure out where we're getting a second stage because the guy that we were going through before, he like disappeared on us. So I gotta find a new guy which is like another thing that we have to pay for. And I still have to pay for this record. This record needs to get done this month. Like, dude, dude, I've just been putting into perspective that like my life is so fucking crazy busy right now. Like, I can't even think of anything outside of this. I like me being sick held me back so bad, and now I'm playing catch up. So, um, yeah, and I just have so much shit I got to do. Like, I had one of my friends kind of like bring up the whole dating thing, and they're like, "You're always posting stuff about like relationships and shit." And I was like, honestly, like the more I fucking think about it, like I don't have time for a relationship. Like if any girl came in my life, like I would just show her how much fucking chaos I have. She'd probably be like, "This man is way too busy for me."
They'd be like, "This man's
Or
insane.
I
Look at
would
all this
need yeah, or I would need to find someone that looks at it and goes, "I love that this guy is fucking working this hard on this. Like I'm gonna stick it through with him because he's trying hard." But like that shit don't happen.
Hey,
That
listen,
shit don't happen.
go on Bumble, snap a
Nope.
picture of no, hear me out. Snap a picture of your whiteboard and put it on there, and they'll look at that whiteboard and go, "Man, I like this guy," or they'll be like, "This dude's fucking crazy." So you'll just weed
Yeah,
out all the people.
they're gonna be like, "Where the fuck? Where's all that money going?" I'm like, "In the fucking drain, basically." God,
They'll look at the way your mind works on a whiteboard and they'll be like, "Nah, mm-mm." Or
I, d-
eh.
I, well, funny enough, I was when I was at Staples, I was like looking at the whiteboards, and I was like, "Man, if I drew out everything I have to do, and I took a picture of it, I was like, I wonder how many people would look at it and go, oh, that's not that much,' or they'd look at it and go, oh, now I see why you're so fucking miserable all the time." Because like I could simplify it. If I simplify it, I could say Titan Fest, Death Experience Tour, uh, bus inspection, and um,
What's that? What's a bus?
uh,
There's no inspection. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying right now. Fuck. So I could put those. So if I wanted to make it simple, it would just be those things, right?
But
But
it's
then,
more complicated than just those three things.
yeah, because then I spider web it. So once I spider web, so if I just do Titan Fest, right? The spider web would be um reconnect with all bands on ticket sales. And then the next one would say marketing. And then I would spider web off of marketing, go place place posters at all locations that are supporting the event. Then I would have another one that says reach out to vendors. Then I would have another spider web that says get vendor deposits. Then I would have to go back up from Titan Fest and go back down. And then I would have to say finish main stage, find second stage. Make sure you go to the studio, or sorry, not studio, go to the music store and make sure that you can get all your items for your instrument or for the sound. And then that's just some of that shit. And then for the album, it'd be like finish lyrics for all the songs, finish recording all the record. Then I have to do marketing, and then I have to learn marketing, and then also I have to fix the problems that I'm having with Spotify right now because Spotify is dicking us. And like, dude,
Spotify's
all my bandmates
everybody
try.
at the moment.
Dude, it is because like we do campaigns,
Yeah.
and literally we used 4 different cards to try to do a campaign, and it denied all of our cards. How? How? It denied 4 different people's fucking bank cards. And I'm like, okay, so I guess we're fucked on Spotify, whatever. And then I have the Death Experience tour. So then off of the tour, we'll also have to film music videos and do like I said, and I have to do the canvases and stuff like that, and the all that for the song. And then I move over to the album, or sorry, not the album, to the tour. I'm still like the tour's 30 days or 26 days, right? I still have like a couple days I have to book. So then at that time, I'm also trying to add on. So I'm emailing venues and doing research on venues on top of the fact that I've had a couple of venues or promoters tell me like, hey, we need to move the location. This is not working. So now I'm backtracking.
Yep. Dude, I'm
Sorry.
you know what this reminds me of? Hold on. I have the photo right here.
I know it's gonna be the guy, and he's gonna be like this, and he's gonna be yeah.
Hold
It's
on.
from fuck, it's a Pacific Rim. It's when he's doing the I think it's Pacific Rim, or is that It's Always Sunny? I don't remember which
Yeah.
picture it's from.
I think it's always sunny. But you remember these from school?
Yeah, it's the fucking dude with the
Yep.
that's literally yes.
That's
I know exactly
exactly
what
what
meme you're talking about.
that's exactly what I'm thinking of when it comes to
Bro, dude. I should make it so people could see like this is how my day looks and just fucking write all of it down.
A day in the life. There you go. Instagram reel, Titan, day in the life. Do it.
Just laying in bed all day crying.
D- I would do that one too. Just do a day in the life and it's
Dude, that's how I feel. Like, fuck, dude.
a day in my mind.
But yeah, dude. And that's not even counting like because I still the other thing is I have to do too is that I have to do all the photoshops. So I'm still
Yep.
teaching myself Photoshop while I'm photoshopping stuff. And then I'm also doing our backtracks because I'm the backtrack guy. So I'm editing all I have to edit like fucking 20 different backtracks for our tour, which I know it sounds crazy to say that, but I do because I have to take into account every band member if somebody gets sick on the road or gets hurt and I still need to put a show on, I need to have a backtrack available so that it's there. So it's like if I'm missing a lead guitarist or a rhythm or a bass player or something, then I could switch it out on the playlists.
Yeah. What
So
are
I have
you
to make
using for
20
your
different
backing
ones
track?
of
Ableton?
safety. No, we use well, so how I do it is I have it all on Reaper and then I
Yeah, yeah.
save it as an MP3 and I put it on an iPad.
That's a smart idea. Great idea.
Yeah, so all you do is press play on the iPad and then it runs it through the our rack.
Nice. I like it.
But
I dig it.
yeah,
I like to use Logic because I'm a Mac boy now. I got my Mac and I now listen, I do have an ROG Ally, that little handheld gaming PC that I use for gaming. But this
yeah,
is my workhorse right here.
your
Yeah. I've
Your
been
Mac
playing
daddy.
Elden Ring Night Rain, by the way. Killer game.
Dude, I tried playing Elden Ring. It's just not for me, but I love watching it. I love watching people that know what they're doing play it because then I could like watch it how I wish I could play it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get it. I
But
should
like I've
send you
had
over this video I did of Dark Souls. You'll think it's hilarious. I'll send it
dude,
over to you later.
I watch a lot of speed runs. I'm always watching speed runs of fucking games too. Like a lot. Like people wouldn't even know that about me, but I that's like one of my favorite things to watch, just random speed runs of random games.
You watch Games Done Quick every year?
No, I've never even heard of that.
So, Games Done Quick, I think there's three. Autumn games done quick, summer games done, or awesome games done quick, and summer games done quick. And then I think it's like spring games done quick. They do 2 to 3 every year. It's a week long. They raise money for, it's usually Doctors Without Borders, but they're always raising money for something. You can win prizes if you donate or not. You can submit the email or whatever. But it's just speed run after speed run after speed run after speed run, and it's for an entire week from the morning of Monday to the night of Sunday.
That's
All
cool.
speed runs. It's on Twitch. What I do every time it comes on, I put it on my TV and I leave it up the whole week.
That's cool.
And I have it on in the background while I'm doing stuff. And they'll talk through the speed runs. They'll be like, you see this right here? He's about to do a move. They did a Lies of P one this past one. Uh, that Pinocchio Dark Souls game.
Yeah,
And this guy, he uncaps his frame rate for just this one move. And they point and launch themselves up the stairs and they fly across the whole entire map. It's the craziest thing ever. But they skip like two bosses doing that. And it's so sick. And they explain how he does it,
is that
why
on Dark
he does it.
Souls?
Lies of P. It's the
Oh, Liza P.
like,
Okay, okay.
yeah. They do
I
do
remember.
Dark Souls too, and it's ridiculous too.
No, I was gonna say because I watched when I watched Elden Ring and Dark Souls, and that it sounds like that where it'd be like a guy doing a power move, and then all of a sudden he lets go, and then he flies across the fucking
Yep.
map, and I'm just like,
Yep.
what? What?
Dude, you'll just be sitting there watching them and they're just running along and all of a sudden like a
It's funny.
rocket.
Um, So my guitar player David, he's number 4 in the world for fastest speed run on zombies, Call of Duty
Oh,
zombies.
snap.
Yeah, dude, he's been like real. It's funny because he didn't get into Call of Duty until Black Ops 6 came out. Because I got it and I told him to get it. I was like, dude, let's play together. And then he just, dude, he was one of those people, bro, where like he just instantly got fucking good. I'm like, bro, you got better than me, and I've been playing this game for fucking 15 years. Like, what the,
Dude,
dude? He's
that's how
so
it is,
good,
man.
and he's on PC, so he's doing trick shotting and shit. And like, I'm
Oh,
like, bro,
so
like
what you're
he's
saying is
stupid
he's a
good.
straight G and we're scrubs?
Yes, 100%, dude. He's absolutely bonkers. So he has a Twitch, and he has I'm sorry, he has a Kick. I think he has a Twitch too, but I know he has a Kick because that's what he streams on a lot. But he has Kick and he has TikToks and Reels on Instagram. He makes like all of his little, he makes edits and shit. And he's
Yeah,
really fucking good. But yeah, no, he's number I think 4 or 5 right now in zombies, and I'm just
that's
like,
sick.
that's crazy. Because every time I've tried to speed run, I'm on controller, so I'm just doing the best I can, and then I watch him and compare to me, and I'm like, bruh, like that man's wild.
Dude, I hate when I go and watch somebody and they're like infinitely better than I am. I'm like,
Oh, I don't hate it anymore. I used to be a hater about it because I was like, fuck, we don't want to get that good. But then I realized, like, wait, like,
it makes me
they,
want to try harder, and that's why I love it.
oh no, for me, it's like I realized, like, you know what? They are that good because they put as much effort as I do into my band. They put that much effort into that. So I should just be stoked to watch it happen because that's how when people talk to me about the band or the festival, they're just like, blah, 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 like all these amazing things. And I'm like, bro, I just work around the fucking clock on this
That's
shit.
right.
Like, and then people are like, "What do you work on?" I'm like, it's not necessarily like I'm doing something new. It's more like I'm fixing shit that's falling apart and I'm trying to keep it together. So when I say working, it's about just keeping the shit from falling apart.
Yep. Dude, that's how
That's,
it is, man.
yeah, but the only new stuff is like the new record. But let
Until I
me
get that Mr. Beast money.
oh fuck right, dude. Hey man, so that's what I'm saying, dude. Dude, I don't know, man. I should start dedicating an hour every night to fucking streaming music because, like, I've seen a lot of my homies fucking make money off of Twitch and shit, and like, I might as well just do it too. Like, I
Yeah.
could get a following really quick. Like, every time I stream, I usually have like 10, 15 people in there talking to me, which a lot of
Hey,
people are like, can't
no,
even
I'll
get
be
one.
there when I can.
Well, I've had you in there.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah. So I'll have to just figure it out. I always end up with so much shit I gotta do, and then I'm just like, by the time it shows up, I'm like, man, like I got nothing going on. I got
Yeah.
no bands to jump on here. So I don't know. Maybe I should just start taking a. I don't know. Maybe I should
Have a
make up.
call line.
Yeah, have a call line or well, no, that's what the Twitch thing's for. They can just jump on there and submit bands.
Yeah, there you go.
But
Do a
let's
TikTok.
Do you want to talk about anything else before I show you this new song?
Man, I think we talked about everything we could possibly talk about.
This is
Uh,
a pretty long episode.
and it's been a fun one. It doesn't feel long when you have fun.
Yeah. Also, I
And
just
then I
talk
go
a
to
lot.
edit it and I'm like, why is this so long, bro?
Fuck. You know what's funny? When I did my podcast, I didn't edit it unless like I would like remember, like I would like have a pen, and then whenever they would be talking and they would say something that I'm like, oh, I need to cut that out. I would tell them before though. I would say, hey, I try not to edit this besides an intro. So if there's something you don't want to fucking say, don't say it. And they'll
Yeah.
be like, okay. So there was only 2 times out of like the 40 podcasts I did where I had to cut like a millisecond out because they said something that was like not cool. And I was like,
Dude,
but
so I don't edit them either. I mean, I put my intro, I put my the outro with
yeah.
the closing song, which you have to decide the closing song for this one. You decided the last one, and now you got to decide a new one.
From what? From my band or any band?
Yeah, from your band. You got to
Oh.
pick one of the 3 singles.
Oh,
Uh,
we'll just do Love. It's the newest one.
okay, I will do
Yeah.
love for that one.
Yeah.
But
Or I mean, you know what? I mean, I could send you the new one. You just gotta promise you don't.
well,
You
you
just
know
gotta
this
promise you
podcast
don't post it.
episode won't be out until then. So I'm gonna be honest, I can just rip it from YouTube.
The new one?
Yeah, when it comes out, I'll just
Oh, okay, that works. Yeah, yeah. We'll just
uh,
do the new one then. Yeah.
okay, cool. We'll do the new one.
Sheesh.
I'm not gonna
Fine.
lie, that's how I do it. I go, "What song do you want?" Okay, I'll be back.
All right, no, that works out. Then the new one, Absence of Warmth, I'm down.
Okay,
Comes
sounds
out
good.
June 13th, which I'm excited for.
Which this will be out afterwards, so why aren't you guys streaming it already?
Yeah, huh? Which is weird to think. Oh yeah, also, if you guys are listening, please go to Titan Fest. I would
Please
appreciate it so
do.
much. It's 3 days. The first day's free. You don't have to go. It's a free day. It's only 3 hours, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's just a bunch of little kids playing on the main stage. And then days 2 and 3. Day 2 is 10 bands. Day 3 is 15 bands. Um, we are actively trying to get All American Rejects to play, which I know sounds crazy, but there is a video, there's a reel up on my Instagram and the band Instagram, Titan Band and the Ryan Titan, and on Titan Fest.
Go
You'll
at
see
'em.
me wearing, yeah, if you could go share it, tag them in it, put it in your story. Just tell them how bad you want them to play Sacramento. Like, I really appreciate it. I think it's sitting at like 11.2 thousand streams right now, which is crazy to think that, or it's views, which is crazy to think over 11,000 people saw that video. And like, I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, and All American Rejects has seen our story every time we posted it and tagged them in it. They've seen it every time.
Interesting.
Yeah. So frustrating, very frustrating. But, um,
Hey,
yeah.
shoot me over that reel. I'll put it at the end of this.
Okay. That works out for me.
That way we can spread the love.
But wait, no, then they won't be able to share from here.
Oh yeah. You know what? I'll put a link in the bot. Shoot
Okay.
me over the link. There we go.
I'll do the link. All right. I'll do
Go look at the link in the description.
Yeah, I'm down. No, but yeah, it'd be awesome. Just the event's growing. Last year we oversold by 93 people. And so we raised the capacity and we expanded it to 2 days. But I'll tell you this, with the amount of bands we have on it and with the notoriety that this event has gotten, fully believe, I fully believe it's gonna sell out both days. I
Oh,
truly
I'm
fucking believe it.
I wholeheartedly believe it.
I have a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good.
Right.
I
Man,
don't
I'm
know.
tempted to just put that right there.
Right? No, I think each night's gonna sell out. We did raise the cap um to a number. I'm actually not allowed to say.
That's a good number. I like it.
And the reason why I'm not allowed to say is because like I want to know what
Oh,
I want to see where all the local bands numbers are at first.
yeah, of course.
And then when I find out what everyone's numbers at, then I could say, okay, guys, we're close to where we need to be for it to be sold out. So this is the number. And then we could start kind of like letting people know. Because if I give a big number now and say, oh, it's this number, then people are gonna be like, oh, I got time. Well,
Yeah,
the last time people thought they had time,
they
they
did.
all ran out of time and everyone was like, you fucking sold out. And I'm like, we oversold by 93. So like, yes, we definitely so we raised the cap and I just want people to know like we did raise it, but not enough where it won't sell out, if that makes sense.
I'm putting this in my calendar. I'm gonna see if I can make it up or make it across, I guess.
Are you sure that's a really long flight?
I
That's
fly
expensive.
free.
Why?
My aunt's a flight attendant. I fly free.
Bruh, bet.
Dude, I get
Bet.
it's so nice having free flights, dude.
Oh,
Dude,
that's amazing.
I have to tell you, man. So when I was working on the cruise, I had to go. This was a day trip. They paid for it, and then I got my free flight through my aunt to go to what is it? Not Knoxville. One of the Tennessee areas. Memphis.
Okay.
I had to go to Memphis. Um, Memphis, I had to go from here to Dallas to Memphis, and then yeah, dude, it's so weird, but it was free, so I didn't care. But I had to go get a seafarer's license, and they only do it in like two places in the United States.
Really?
Yeah, two or three places. One of them's Florida. So I had to go from here to Tampa and back in one day.
Oh my God. That's a fucking nightmare.
So I took Who did I take? I think I took American down. Went took an Uber. They paid for it, of course. To the place. I went there, did the thing, went back to the airport, got on Frontier and came back.
Just to get your sea license?
Yeah, because you have to have a seafarer's license to work on a cruise ship or
What
on
did you
a
do?
boat. Keyboard.
Oh, that's cool. That's so cool.
I got them fingers.
Well, if you come out, then I'll just guest list you.
Okay, cool.
You got, dude. I have. Well, so when I was at, sorry, I know we're about to hop off, but
Yeah.
when I was at Welcome to Rockville, dude, the last year I had people fly. I had 2 people fly out last year. This year, those same 2 people, when I was working the merch booth, they came up and they were like, "Oh my god!" Like it was so cool seeing them because we took pictures together and they were so happy. And then like there was other people online and they were like, how do you know that guy? And then they were like, oh, his band has a festival in California, and like we all went last year, and they were, dude, that couple got like 15 people to fucking buy tickets to go to Titan Fest this year. So
That's
I'm expecting like 15, 20 people roughly to fly to go.
Dude, hey, they better be asking for their 50% cut. No, just kidding.
Fuck.
No,
No.
that's really sweet, dude.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
no,
give anybody no ideas. No.
no, it was cool though. Like I don't know. It's kind of weird, like being on the other side of the country and then having people take pictures with me and shit. Even though I've never played there or anything,
Yeah.
but they just know who I am, and I'm just like, hi.
Dude, it's because
I
your music's good. It
it's
is.
okay.
I like your music, okay?
You like the singing parts.
I like all of it.
Oh, damn
The
it.
singing parts were just my favorite out of that one particular.
It's my favorite too. It's our marketing. But yeah, no, we can hop off this and then I'll show
let's
you the
hop
new
off.
song right now.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, my friend. It's fun as always to talk to you, and we'll schedule that music draft at some point.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for having me. Bye, guys.
Bye.
This is the worst of it all. You said
This has been the Mullins Over Music Podcast, episode 27, part 2 of the double feature. With me, Austin, yet again. Special thanks to Ryan for coming on the podcast again. Song titled Absence of Warmth by Titan. Check out Ryan and Titan on social medias and the music. Check out their new single that's out now, Absence of Warmth. And check out the Death Experience when it comes out. Thanks again, guys, to viewers like you. Hope you enjoyed the double feature. And until next time.